Baseball, 96.5 The Fan. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar. Happy opening day to you and yours. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you, getting you ready for the first Royals baseball game of the season. We are going to talk a lot of baseball today. We're going to talk a lot of college basketball today, as we are through one half of the Sweet 16. We got the other half of the Sweet 16 coming up later today. Congratulations to Iowa as they advanced to the Elite Eight yesterday after a very, very impressive performance in the final 5 minutes of that one. We'll recap all of the action from last night. We'll look ahead. We'll get you ready to who could potentially find themselves in the Final Four. But we are celebrating baseball here on 96.5 The Fan. You can hear today's game right here on 96.5 The Fan as the Royals travel to Atlanta to take on the Braves to kick off both teams' season. We got a very busy show planned for you guys today. Rex Hudler is going to be on the show coming up in about 15 minutes. Josh Verner is going to be on the show today. Aaron Ladd is going to be on the show. He was in Atlanta. He's back in the Missouri area. He's going to be on the show at 4 o'clock to get you ready for baseball season. We got a lot planned. Really happy that you guys are here with us as we are celebrating the start of the baseball season. We're going to talk about the Royals lineup here coming up in just a bit. But first, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show each day is brought to you by our great friends over at The Other Place. Stop in, grab a bite to eat. Maybe you want to watch a little baseball. Maybe you want to catch some college basketball. Whatever the sport is, they're showing it over at The Other Place with good food and cold drinks. So let's get to it. This is the lineup for your Kansas City Royals to kick off the season. Garcia, Witt Jr., Thomas, Perez, Pasquantino, Marte, India, Collins, and Jensen. That is the lineup that the Royals are going with. No, I did not misspeak. There is a name that is noticeably absent from the Royals' opening day lineup. It's Jack Caglione. Now, let me give you the stats for the Royals as they are going up against Chris Sale, who is one of the best left-handers in Major League Baseball. The splits last year, lefties hit 162, had a 250 on base percentage and a 302 OPS against Chris Sale. So no Jack Caglione in today's lineup. Also no Kyle Isbell in the lineup for the Royals as well. If you look at the way that they loaded up the lineup, it is a lot of righty bats in all of this. Garcia, Witt Jr., Thomas, Salvi. So there's a lot of right-handed bats in this. Marte, Jonathan India. But there is one thing that was really interesting to me. They're letting Carter Jensen hit today. That's intriguing to me. He's a left-handed batter. So maybe this is me projecting just a little bit, and maybe I'm off on this, and I'm really excited to hear what Vern has to say when it comes to this. But very simple. I think the Royals are telling you it's still going to be a little bit of a process when it comes to Jack Caglione. Now, we don't have to go all the way in the Wayback Machine. You guys know what happened last year. He came up with incredible fanfare and didn't live up to it last year, but we're still talking about a 23-year-old individual, and it's just one baseball game out of 162, and you're going up against one of the absolute best lefties in Major League Baseball. But it is intriguing to me that the Royals do have that level of trust for Carter Jensen, who I think proved it last year based on a very limited sample size of how he performed, and they are not giving that same thing when it comes to Jack Caglione. Now, what I want to be very clear on when it comes to Caglione is this is a process. And I feel like last year, because he got off to such an incredible start in the minors, because he was such a great college player, I think there was a feeling that he was going to be able to skip some steps because he accelerated so fast through the process. I mean, we're talking about a guy last year who only played 38 games in Double-A and came up really quickly in Omaha. Now, the numbers are a little bit skewed because he went back down afterwards and there was an injury. We're talking about a guy that was moved through the Royals farm system incredibly fast. Came up to the major leagues in the middle of the season. There was an expectation that he was going to provide a little bit of pop, and that is not what happened last year. Rob, I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. Text line 913-586-7965. What do you make of Jack Caglione not getting the start today? Do you think this is the manager quite simply playing strategy? Lefty, right? We want a platoon in this scenario. We don't want to set you up to potentially fail. Where I'm looking at this is, I think this is the Royals' way of possibly coming out and trying to temper some of those expectations that we are talking about with Jack Caglione, because it is noticeable to me the amount of trust that they are willing to show Carter Jensen to go up in the spot as a left-hander that they do not seem willing to show Jack Caglione. If you are willing to let Carter Jensen go out there, you are willing to let Carter Jensen fail in some ways. You are willing to let him go up there and be 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, and you are letting him do that because there is a belief that he's going to be able to bounce back. I think they're handling Jack Caglione a little bit different this year because of everything that's last year, and they're not going to throw him out on the deep end of the pool. Now, that's not to say he's not going to play in Atlanta. Maybe he's a pitch hit opportunity, but I think it is really interesting to me on day one of the season how they're handling their lineup and who is noticeably missing from the lineup.
I think it's a little bit of everything you said. I do think they are saying, hey, we trust Carter Jensen more than we trust Jack Caglione. Now, Carter Jensen's batting 9, so, I mean, it's only a small amount more trust. And like Carter Jensen's batting 2 tonight, and like, go get him, Tiger. It's, hey, you're in the 9 hole. So that's, I do think they're showing they trust Carter Jensen more. I also think they're protecting Cags. Like, Cag's numbers last year, the advanced metrics, the nerd deep core analytics show that his numbers should have been better than they were. But the numbers are what the numbers are. If you can protect him from looking up at the scoreboard and seeing 158, I think you take the opportunity to do that. And I know he has a little bit better of hitting against lefties versus righties in his splits, but the advanced numbers show Caglione against lefties just chases more. He has a higher whiff rate. Chris Sale is not 25 years old anymore. This is not the Chris Sale that was fighting the Royals when he was a White Sox. This is Chris Sale who has more of a crafty lefty type of vibe. He's going to throw breaking stuff, and Jack Caglione's whiff rate is not great against lefties who throw breaking stuff. So I think it's a little combination of everything. We're going to protect Cags, we're going to trust Carter Jensen, and we're also going to understand the underlying numbers from at least last year's show. Caglione struggles against a certain type of lefty. That's the type of lefty that's on the mound tonight in Atlanta. Let's just be a little more risk adverse in game one and see where the season takes us. So I think it's a little combination, a little bit from here, a little bit from there, a little piece of the pie from everywhere, what Caglione is out of the lineup tonight.
But I do think this, and I think the text line makes a good point. Text line 913-586-7965. I believe that this tells us that that Q views Cags as a platoon bat. Everybody else that's playing today, I think there is reason to look at them as a starter for the Kansas City Royals. Like, if you look at everybody in this lineup, I think that's the lineup that is playing regardless of who the starting pitcher is. I don't think that that's where Cags is yet. Now, that's not to say he cannot get there as the season progresses throughout itself, but I think at least the decision for the designated hitter today, to me, is a very, very clear one. Carter earned this based on how he performed last year, so we're going to throw him out there. Jack Caglione did not earn it last year based on how he performed. you can get to that point and he'll get an opportunity to hit some lefties. He'll get an opportunity to showcase it. And if he puts himself in a spot where you simply can't take him out of the lineup, then you're going to deal with the growing pains and the ups and downs. I do think that last year, the Royals were sort of forced to throw him into the middle of the action, and it blew up in their face a little bit. I do think you were seeing a much more measured approach from the Kansas City Royals and how they want to handle this and how they want to move forward. But it is very telling today because I think we all were expecting the exact same thing today. I was expecting to see the Royals put who they think is their best lineup out there. It's opening day. It's day one. Of course, you're going to go out there. So when you see this lineup, and I think more than anything, your eyes kind of do a double take. Wait, where is Jack Caglione? And for all the conversations that we have had about X Factor and it potentially having a big season, I do think on day one, this is the Royals putting a little bit of cool water on that. Hey, let's tone down our expectations. And this is somebody who has to earn the right of being an everyday player, and you just penciling him in every single day out at left field. Coming up on the other side, there's no better person to celebrate the start of baseball with than Rex Hudler. We'll get his thoughts on Jack Caglione not being in the lineup, and we'll get his thoughts on a lot of hope and optimism around this Royals team. That's all coming up. We'll be joined by Rex Hudler. That's next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. No, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Right now, new FanDuel customers get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. You can mix things up with same-game parlays for an even bigger payout. So visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. I am jonesing for a Duke-UConn matchup in what should have been Kansas region. That one is a great potential Elite Eight matchup. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Come on. No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up.
I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid.
Finish Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
I need a little range, step to the range, come on, meet me at the
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Hi, this is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, certified financial planner, and the host of the Jill on Money podcast. With the new year upon us, there's no better time to take control of your financial life. And the Jill on Money podcast is here to help. It's your questions that make it possible for me to provide unconventional and, I hope, entertaining insights on your money and, more importantly, on your life. Follow and listen to Jill on Money wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen from the Kansas City Royals. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by a dear friend of the show. There's no better guest to celebrate the start of the baseball season with than with our dear friend Rex Hudler joining us on the show. Hud, it's great to hear your voice, man. How you doing?
C-Dot, man, it's great to be with you, sir. Wonderful, thankful, happy, all of the above. It's a beautiful thing, man, when you're in a city like Kansas City and it's baseball season opening day in a baseball town that's just crawling with Royals and Royals fans that can't wait to see these guys perform this season, which could be a championship year. We don't know.
So let's start with this, Hud, because you've been here long enough to see the ups and downs when it comes to the Royals. It feels like there's a different buzz around the city about this team. It feels like there's a different level of optimism heading into this season.
You got that right, C-Dot, and it's for every good reason, too. The homegrown talent that J.J. Piccolo and the organization has put together is amazing. Number one, teams pride themselves whenever they have one, maybe two guys that are homegrown. We got a whole handful of guys. I mean, 5 or 6, which is really important. And you've got to add a veteran from outside or here within or a free agent here or there. But, C-Dot, this is my 15th season, and they've all been great because I love baseball. No matter when you win or lose, of course, it's always better when you win. But this is the first off season that I've been here that we've never hunted starting pitching in the off season. Okay? Usually it's always been, well, we need a starter, we need 2, we'd like to get 3. This year, we had a surplus of starting pitching, so that's a positive right away because starting pitching is the main currency in the grand game. Okay, you've got to have that. Your team will only go as far as your starting pitching will let them, and that's what we have. Okay, then the WBC came, and I'm always a little guarded every 4 years whenever that happens, just like a GM would be. Even though I don't have any prominence of a GM or nothing, I'm just a fan like everybody else. But I'm concerned with our guys, somebody getting hurt, the possibility of that. But none of us knew the impact the WBC was going to have on Kansas City and our Royals players. Forget about the teams they played for, the countries they played for, even though that was impressive. It was the success that our players gained, and Kansas City as a city as a whole were the leading watchers of that. There's power by that, and there's momentum, and there's energy with that, C-Dot. And with that coming into the season, now it's over. But that's momentum. These guys are already stars in the world. People are already got their eyes on Kansas City. That's why.
Right now, we're talking to Rex Hudler about opening day. Hud, do you see the similarities that exist between the Royals in that time frame of 2013, early 2014 to where they are now?
Absolutely. Good statement there, C. Dot. 12, they lost 94, I believe. 13, they were 10 over. And certainly in 12, the reason I moved my family out here after my first year was because I saw what they had, those young players. I got home and told Jennifer, honey, they're going to win. I think God's calling all of us there, not just me during the summers to broadcast games. We need to all be there when they win. And you could feel it then, and you can feel it now. So, yes, I mean, it's not going to be easy, and it never is. But, C. Dot, the key to 26 for the Royals is going to be getting through the month of April. The start. The start is going to be more important than any other season this year, because not only last year they had a hard time driving runs in, they couldn't pick up any runners from second base with less than 2 outs, or they couldn't get the big hits, and that hurt them late. But now they're playing some really solid teams in April. I mean, like almost every team was a winner last year, and some of them were in postseason. I don't have the exact detail, but it's Milwaukee and then Cleveland. They're always tough, those guys. So this is going to be the importance of the Royals season this year if they can get out to the good start. And speaking about tonight, that Chris Sale, he's a beast. He won't be easy.
Right now, we're talking to Rex Hudler as we are getting ready for opening day. Hud, the big thing for me with the Royals is going to be how do they avoid the bad month? If you look at last year, I mean, this is the team that likely should have made the playoffs, but the month of June just completely drowned them last year. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, can this team just avoid that 1 month that undoes all of the hard work that they've done the other 4 or 5 months of the season?
Yeah, that's very important. It's impossible, almost impossible, to have a winning record every single month. But 500 is attainable, and that's a successful month. And that's what I'm saying for April. April's going to be bigger than June last year, of course, but they all are important. You want to have winning records in each month if you can. But the game just doesn't work out that way a lot because we never know. It's the toughest sport to predict. Whenever you hear these predictions from the quote-unquote experts, I always kind of smirk and smile and say, hey, they're doing their job and they're doing what their bosses ask them to predict. But we just don't know. But on paper, it's pretty exciting to see on paper. We have a much better outfield than we did last year. Okay, that's a positive. The outfield looks good. We have veterans there. Lane Thomas is going to be a fine center fielder for when Isbell's not playing. So Lane, I would expect will get Sale tonight, and Sterling Marte will get the other guy. We'll play in one of the other spots, I'm sure. Some of our young lefties, I don't think will be in the lineup against Sale. Sale, that 3/4 slider, you can't hit that, and you can't hit it with a tennis racket. He's going to be tough. So let's hope our righties, let's hope Salvi, somebody can get a piece of cheese and hit it out. He's 95 with his sliders like in the low 90s, wicked sidearm. So, we're going to have to get him on, get him over, get him in, and find a way to win.
Right now, we're talking to Rex Hudler. That's interesting. You mentioned it with the young lefties. So in the lineup today, there is no Jack Caglione, and that stood out a little bit because Carter Jensen is in the lineup, and he's a lefty. Are you reading into this, or do you think this is very simply you're going up against a lefty like Chris Sale, and the Royals just want to protect Jack Caglione a bit?
Yeah, I would say that for sure, and Jack's probably happy too, even though he's a competitor and he'd like to compete, I'm sure. But the manager's going to protect him when he can. And even though the home runs, remember his first and second home run that the Lumberjack hit last year, it was in Texas against lefties. He can hit lefties. I think this lefty is a different kind of lefty. He's a Hall of Fame lefty. He's 3/4. He's not over the top. Those two guys that Jack hit homers off of, the lefties, were over the top and a little bit more conventional. This guy's funky, and it's not. So I think it's a good break. I haven't seen the lineup, but you have seen it. So Carter's in there.
Yeah, Carter is the DH, and he's hitting 9th today. And we were talking about this to open the show today. That's why we're happy to have you on there. You've been watching the World Baseball Classic. You've been down there in Surprise. What do you think Jack looks like heading into the season? And you're a former Major League Baseball player. What's the adjustment that you take from your first year and the mentality that you take heading into your second year?
Well, CDOT, it was tough for Jack last year. Such a big phenom to be able to jump right to the major leagues without any minor league time hardly at all. There was a lot of pressure on him, and I remember that I couldn't hit my way out of a paper sack when I first got to the big leagues. It was not just getting used to the pitching, which is top shelf. It was the nerves. It was playing in front of 30,000 people. Those are all things that you're not used to, even though the minor league ballparks nowadays are beautiful and new and they get the bigger crowds. But that was the toughest thing when you first get there. And I remember, of course, I faced Mike Boddicker. I was a Yankee, so the Orioles, we played them a lot. Mike Boddicker's a freak. You kidding? He had a curveball that fell out of the sky. I remember seeing him release that ball, and I looked over my head, and I took it because I'm saying, man, what the heck is that? And it was a strike right at the knees. So now what am I going to do next? Well, he throws it again, and I'm going to swing at it. But he's smart because he drops it after the throwing it for strike one. He's going to drop it in front of home plate as a ball. I swing at it, and the next pitch, why wouldn't he do it again? I swung at it again. It was so embarrassing. He toyed with me, and Jack saw some of that last year, and he was aggressive. He wanted to hit. So what's the transition will be for him this year? He's like, yeah, it's my turn now. I'm better than that. I'm going to show some plate discipline, which he showed in spring training. He was one of the guys on that Italian team. So when you become a guy like that, with the help of the WBC, it's going to further mature Jack's progress. Jack is going to be a more mature hitter this year. He's still going to swing and miss at some because you're only human at the highest level, but he's going to be more selective. He's already showed it. He's going to gain some confidence. An early start for him, a good, successful start, is going to help in the confidence department, CDOT, but he's going to have a little more of a chip on his shoulder now and saying, look, it's my turn now, and I'm not going to go easy. So I think he's going to be a much better hitter. And of course, I loved watching him play defense last year, whether it was in right or at first base, especially in right field. When he would catch a ball, C-Dot, watching him throw 90 plus back into the infield, that was so cool. This is really a star player that's going to be a big part of that championship the next time the Royals win it, whenever that is coming soon.
Right now, we're talking to Rex Hudler, getting his thoughts. We are getting ready for opening day. So the outfield today, Hud, is going to be Lane Thomas in center, Sterling Marte over at right field, and Isaac Hollins at left field, hitting third, sixth, and eighth, respectfully. There's a lot of new faces on this team, especially in the outfield. What do you make of the new faces?
I like them. Compared to last year's faces, there's a big difference. It's some proven guys, which is nice. Even though Isaac is not exactly proven, but he had one heck of a year last year. When you put a year in like that in your first year as a rookie, you're coming in and you got some skills. You got a little swagger. That's important. Swagger is important for a big leaguer because that's the ego. That's that mechanism that stirs the player when he competes against the world's greatest. My first 2 years, I didn't have it. I was scared. I was a wimp. I was just kind of tiptoeing in there. But once I got tired of getting bit by the dog, that's when you step up and you go, no, it's my turn now, and I'm coming to play. And in our day, CDOT, it was much easier. I could go after a second baseman, or I could get Ozzie Smith or Ryan Sandberg, or I could tea kettle a catcher. I could use my physicality from being a football player. But it's different nowadays. You have to really show your skills with the bat and with your defense. So I'm going to say, C-Dot, that outfield is talented. Sterling Marte was a great pickup. Even at 37 years old, I saw him in the spring. He's chiseled. Looks like he's got about waist. He's got shoulders. He's got strong. He can still run. He can cover some ground and play some outfield. That's a really nice acquisition. They had their eyes on him, and they wanted the kid Duran in Boston. But he was a tough get. He was a tough find. But they were able to complement it. I think the kid Isaac's going to be a very sufficient guy who can get on base. He doesn't swing in any balls. He's a guy who puts the ball in play, a Royals-type player. And of course, the center fielder, he's a veteran. I watched him play in Cleveland last year. I was impressed with him. Hit some big home runs and timely home runs. So the Royals are definitely better off in that outfield than they were last year. And we all know that was a big difference.
I'm not here to put the pressure on one individual, but I feel like Cole Reagans will likely tell the story for the 2026 Royals. He was an all-star in 2024. They made the playoffs in 2025. He dealt with injuries. He took a step back, and they finished a couple of games outside of the playoff picture. I think if the Royals can get that version of Cole Reagans back from 2026 or 2024, and if they can get that version this year and you add that with the bats that they've added and the offense and the foundation, I think it's going to be really, really tough to beat this Royals team this year.
You better believe it, C-Dot. I'm glad you see the things that a lot of us see. And, like I said, you can't pull the wool over Royals fans. They've been seeing it all. They've seen the rough seasons, the terrible seasons, and then they've seen some great seasons. And it's really about that time where the tide turns back to greatness again, and it starts with a couple of winning seasons before this year, okay? That the 2 winning seasons is like you were mentioning, the way it was in 12 and 13. You could see the prospects. You could see it. But now this is a more mature team. And with Salvador Perez, the captain of this team, still being Salvi, which is amazing after all these years, to see him be the leader and the other guys follow, the junior's a superstar. We got a superstar at third base. And, C-Dot, we really haven't talked about the defense and how wonderful this defense is. I watched Pasquantino go from a guy who was not a very good fielder to a Gold Glove candidate. He's worked his way. Jose Alguacil, another brilliant hire, the infielder instructor for the Royals that Quatraro hired, is brilliant. I watch these guys every single day go out there before games and work. They don't take infield like they used to in our day. They go out and they get their work done early, and they get their hitting done early, and then they go and they shower. That way they don't have to heat up and warm up and do it again and again. So, but they're working on drills, working on short hop picks, throws from the first baseman. Pasquantino's made himself a brilliant first baseman, and we all saw it in the WBC. Do you see the stretches that he made, this flexibility? I mean, the picks he made over there, that you have a good first baseman, man, that makes the rest of them good. And sorry about the left side of our infield, the rest of baseball. But with Garcia and Junior on the left side, it's going to be tough. You have to hit a ball hard to get it by him, number one. And number two, with our 3 left-handed pitchers, our starters, remember, guys, you're saying mostly right-handed bats off of these left-hand starters. So what do right-handed bats do with the left-hander throwing balls and breaking in? They pull them. So you hit them to the left side of the infield where we got nothing but gold. Guess what? There's a lot of outs. And that left side of the infield with our 3 left-handed starters this year, bam. And you know what? The rest of the guy, Isbell's pretty a top-shelf center fielder. You need that. It's exciting, C-Dot. When you put it together, pitching, defense, timely hits. That's the magic. It's been for the grand game for the last 200 years, however many years it's been going. And the Royals have it, especially the pitching. And we haven't even mentioned the pin to win.
Last thing here, Hud, and we appreciate your time. You have seen opening day from a player perspective. You've seen it from a broadcaster perspective. One of the things about baseball is it's constant. It's every day. Opening day is a little bit different. What is it like to be in the middle of a day that is so special with the game?
It's the most nerve-wracking a player will have the whole season outside of day one and postseason. The feeling is beautiful. It's your butterflies are let out of the cage. They are flying everywhere. You feel butterflies in your stomach, your throat. You see butterflies, and you just can't wait to get going, to get to the ballpark. That's why, as a broadcaster, all these years, I never go around there and go inside the clubhouse on opening day because there's too much. It's hard to contain. You wait 6 months and you get there, and of course you practice for 6 weeks in spring training games that are meaningless outside of getting in shape. The numbers don't mean anything. Now It's cut. It's time to go, and you're tight. Everyone's tight. I don't care if you're a 10, 15-year veteran. Salvador Perez will tell you, I'm tight. I'm a little nervous today. And that's just the way it is. That's how special opening day can be.
That is Rex Hudler, Royals television broadcaster, joining us on the show. You can catch him later today, Royals and Braves, to open up the season. Hud, you know how much love and appreciation I have for you, how valuable you have been to the show. Excited to have you on for another exciting baseball season.
C-Dot, thanks a million, man. Love you and your work and what you guys do for the area of Kansas City, sharing the game with others, and, also staying positive, C-Dot. But the main thing is being honest and being real, and that's what I love about you. That's the way we do our games, too. We're on top of it. The fans are great, and we're looking for a championship season. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
Hud, you want to know what? A really, really special person told me that our job is about the people. So I try to keep it focused on that. I try to make sure it's about the people.
Always, C-Dot. Everything we do is for the people. Have a great one, C-Dot, and go Royals.
Absolutely. That is Rex Hudler joining us on the show today. There is no better person to pop on the show today to celebrate opening day. Just saw this come across, breaking news. This is courtesy of ABC News. Tiger Woods was involved in a rollover crash in Jupiter Island, Florida on Friday afternoon. The Martin County Sheriff's Office said his condition was not immediately clear. Tiger Woods involved in a rollover crash in Florida. When we have more information, we certainly will pass it to you. But Tiger Woods in another car accident in Florida. We don't have any other details than that. I don't want to speculate about what could potentially have happened with Tiger Woods. Thoughts and prayers to Tiger Woods, his family, his girlfriend, his people, his kids. I think we all want the same thing here, man. I want Tiger happy and healthy. He just was playing golf a couple of days ago on ESPN. That was live, wasn't it? I wasn't tripping when I was watching. That was on Tuesday night.
That was his big return to golf because there was a thought that he was going to try to announce he's going to play at the Masters. And that event takes place in, I believe, Fort Lauderdale. So Jupiter, Florida is right around there. So, yeah, rollover accident does not sound good, but we don't have any details. But, yes, he was playing golf earlier this week.
This is the second serious car accident that Tiger Woods has been involved in. Not even making the joke about what happened with his wife. I mean, a very serious. This is the second time that this has happened with Tiger Woods down there in Florida. So again, I'm not here to speculate. Oh, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. I don't know. When we get more information, we'll certainly pass it to you. But Tiger Woods, according to ABC News, Tiger Woods was involved in a rollover crash in Jupiter, Florida this afternoon. The Martin County Sheriff's Office said. Rob, let's get back to the Royals. We'll talk a little college basketball here coming up in just a little bit. Are you with me, at least with Cole Reagans? If you were telling me that the Royals are going to get the 2024 version of Cole Reagans, I don't see how they don't make the playoffs this year. With the other starting pitching that they have, with the bullpen that I think they are going to have for this season, with the development and expectation when it comes to the young guys and their core, if you were telling me that last year's Royals team, because this is largely the same team as last year, you're going to get 20 more starts from Cole Reagans than you got last year. You are going to get 100 more innings from Cole Reagans than you got last year. He had a 4.67 ERA and basically wasn't healthy the second half of the season. He had a 3.14 ERA and was in the Cy Young conversation. We can talk a lot about the Royals potentially adding an impact bat. They have a chance to add an impact arm from last year's team, in which they didn't have. And if you throw that in the mix with the Lugo, with the Waka, with the Noah Cameron, with the Bubic, and now you're talking about somebody who at their peak I think is a better pitcher than any of those guys that I just named, I think it's going to be really hard to keep this Royals team out of the postseason.
I think one thing we forget about with last year's Royals, and it applies to what we're talking about here, is that they suffered a lot of starting pitching injuries. Remember at one point, Rich Hill was starting games for them. We got our jokes off because he's 41 years old, but Rich Hill came up and was starting games. That's projected to not be a problem in 2026. They have an improved depth at the starting pitching position so they can sustain some injuries. And the belief is that maybe he's not 2024, but Cole Reagans is going to be going a full season. And if you get a full season of Cole Reagans, just living up to expectations, and you get a full season of Chris Bubich, and you aren't having to start a 41-year-old Rich Hill, you feel like you have the pitching every night to go out and be successful. You might not go, 106 and 56, but when you have the starting pitcher advantage, the Royals feel like they should have almost every night, you have a chance to do something really special. Like, there was a time on opening day you were outmanned on the mound. There is no reason to believe you'll be outmanned on the mound today or at any point this season for the Royals.
We'll get back to the Royals coming up at the top of the hour. Josh Verner is going to join us, and we're going to get you ready for opening day. Coming up on the other side, if we get an update regarding Tiger Woods' condition, we certainly will share it. If you missed it, Tiger Woods was in a car accident down in Florida. It was a rollover car crash. So thoughts and prayers. Hopefully Tiger Woods is okay. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk a little bit of college basketball. I'm not really sure if Houston made a shot yesterday. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick Weight Loss Hypnosis Seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great. Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and lose the weight or stop smoking. Only $59.99 guaranteed or your money back. Hypnosis, Wednesday, April 1st at the Wingate by Wyndham, Kansas City. Formerly Sure Stay Plus by Best Western in Kansas City. Lose weight hypnosis, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking hypnosis, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen@odyssey.com.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That doesn't matter if it's the money line, the point spread. Maybe you want to play a futures on who you think is going to make the playoffs in the fall. You can do all of that with our friends over at FanDuel. You can even mix things up with the same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. All you need to do, visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day. So it doesn't matter if it's for the brackets or baseball season. You want to be with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days on the street. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30-plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old.
She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This afternoon, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 58.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
We'll get back to the Royals coming up at the top of the hour. Let's talk a little bit of college basketball from yesterday. Ben McCollum might just be a wizard. I would say that, every 10 years, there is someone that comes along that they are just better at this than everybody else. Ben McCollum is 44 years old. He had unprecedented success at Northwest Missouri State. He then graduated and went to the D1 level. At Drake, they went 31-4 and won a game in the NCAA tournament. He then parlayed that success in being able to go back home and go to Iowa City, where he's from. And he is now the head coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes, excuse me. He is now their head coach, and they are in the Elite Eight. We might be just looking at the next version of Tom Izzo. Maybe he's not the guy that's going to get the 5-star overwhelming recruiting class, but Tom Izzo has shown throughout the years that he is a tactician, that he is always going to have his team ready. They are always going to be prepared, and they are not a matchup that you want to have in the NCAA tournament. I watched a real significant portion of that game yesterday. Nebraska was better than Iowa for about 36 or 37 minutes, and there were a couple adjustments made, and in the end, Iowa just really took advantage. And then at the end of the game, what I would say the exclamation point on the game, for Nebraska, with their experienced head coach in Fred Hoiberg, who has coached in the NBA, played in the NBA, longtime college coach, for you to be able to catch Nebraska with 4 players on the court and being able to take advantage was just really the icing on the cake from yesterday. Maybe we are looking at, with Ben McCollum, that he is just this generation's version of Tom Izzo. It's not going to be like this every single year, but more times than not, you know it. You don't want to go up against Michigan State. They haven't won a championship in 20 years. Nobody considers Michigan State to be a blue blood, but everybody that likes college basketball and has an appreciation for it certainly understands the kind of program we are discussing when it comes to Michigan State. Is there a chance that's just who he is?
It's very possible he's Tom Izzo because, I know that the North Carolina job is open. There's speculation the Kansas job may open. I don't know he's ever leaving Iowa. Like, when Tom Izzo got to Michigan State, yes, they had a national title, but it was with Magic Johnson in the 70s. It wasn't like Michigan State was what Michigan State is now. I could see him turning Iowa into Michigan State, a prohibitive team you got to watch out for, but he's just an Iowa guy and he wants to stay home. I could see that. I will say, as great as he is, I don't want to overreact to tournament success because they were a 500 team in the league this year, which is a big step forward for Iowa from the way they were last year, but let's not act like they were the number 2 team in the country and red hot.
You're right, but to be fair, we've seen a lot of Michigan State teams like that too. Michigan State, when they've made the Final Four, it always hasn't been they've been the best team in the Big Ten. It's about them positioning themselves where in March, when it matters most, they are not a team that you want to see. They are not a team that you want to face. So that's what I'm saying is maybe he's Tom Izzo. We don't look at Tom Izzo the same way we look at Pitino. We don't look at Tom Izzo the same way we look at Bill Self or Roy Williams because of the national championships. But Izzo does have one in his pocket. And again, every single year, your team does not want Michigan State in their bracket because of how difficult they are and the kind of style of play that they have and how well they are coached. Maybe that's what we're talking about with Ben McCollum. The next point here about last night watching college basketball, Houston, woof. They couldn't hit water yesterday if they had fallen out of a boat yesterday. It is almost impossible. It is impossible for you to shoot the ball much worse than what we saw Houston shoot the ball yesterday. Rob, they scored 22 points in the first half of the game. 22 points. Honestly, it got better toward the end of the game. With about 15 minutes left, 12 minutes left in the game, they were shooting 24% from the field. They were 9 of 32 from 3. And again, some of this is just garbage time. They got to the free throw line. They took 2 free throw attempts yesterday. Illinois took 21. If you want to talk about controlling the fight, controlling the style, controlling the tempo, I mean, that is exactly what happened yesterday. For a team that we all have great respect for and how tough they are in the Houston Cougars, to see a team just out-tough them in a lot of ways, the way that I think Illinois did yesterday, was very, very telling. That was a complete start-to-finish domination from Illinois, doing it in Houston's backyard, basically in their home gym last night.
I mean, it is very rare to see a team out Houston, but that is what Illinois did last night, which, by the way, now that Illinois has won and Iowa beat Nebraska, is the city excited about a Keaton Wagler versus Bennett Sturts game in the Elite Eight? Because you're going to have a local kid in the Final Four no matter what. Either they're under-recruited Sturts, who went to Northwest, then Drake, and now Iowa.
He had 2 Division II offers coming out of high school. He had 2. He did not have a single D1 offer, and he has turned himself into an NBA point guard. I don't think he's going to be a lottery pick. But you and I both know, late first round, second round, someone is going to give Bennett Sturts a chance to play NBA basketball next season.
Keaton Wagler is the same. It wasn't like he was super well recruited. None of the
Keaton
locals
Wagler is going to be a lottery pick. I saw a lot of people starting to make the Tyrese Halliburton comparison for him and that he could turn out to be that kind of player. So, no, you're 100% right. The city should absolutely be celebrating it today. The fact that you got a kid that went to Shawnee Mission South, I believe. Maybe I'm off.
I think it was North.
One of the directional schools. I know he's from a Shawnee Mission school. And then you got another kid. I mean, it's a bunch of Kansas City kids on that Iowa team. I mean, their starting point guard is from Liberty. Their big guy went to Staley. One of their other players went to Grandview. Like, that is a Kansas City core foundation team. One of those 2 kids is going to find themselves in the Final Four. It's been a pretty incredible run for both squads.
It will be really fun to watch those guys go up against each other because, I mean, it is literally Bennett Sturts, who has been in college basketball forever now, against Keaton Wagler, who, I mean, I understand why Kansas kind of missed on him. K-State fans got to be kicking themselves when they watch Keaton Wagler, right? Like, how did K-State miss out on that kid?
Especially because his girlfriend goes to K-State, and you would have to assume, if they had recruited him, he would have accepted it. He would have walked on and worked his way up. And 100%. That's a miss.
It's a really bad miss.
That's a real big miss for Kansas State. I don't think it's as much of a miss for Missouri or Kansas. But if your girlfriend goes to K-State, you grow up a Wildcat fan, there's absolutely no reason why, if you were one of the top players in Kansas City, why they didn't really seem to have much of an interest in you going there. Purdue, man, I was watching Braden Smith yesterday, and you know what we love? We love the term crafty. He's a crafty point guard. Down the stretch, his experience was the deciding factor in the game. For those of you that were watching it, he had one basket where he basically one-on-one ISOs. He gets the Texas kid one-on-one. He then gives him a little hezzy, gets him up in the air, finishes. He got one kid to commit a foul. Rob, he got out of position. He had the ball. He's behind the basket. And he pump faked and got the Texas guy to jump into him. You're not in a scoring position. Like, that was one of the more experienced college basketball players playing on that experience in the biggest moment. And Purdue, where Texas ties the game up at 77-77. Purdue has the final shot. They miss the last shot. They get a tip in. Texas doesn't get a good look at the shot for the potential game winner. And Purdue wins that game 79-77. The first two games were great. The last two games were blowouts. Arizona smoked Arkansas.
But they looked like the best team in the country doing it.
I think they are the best team in the
there.
country. No, absolutely. It was kind of what my concern was. I told you yesterday. Man, I know Arizona's going to be able to score, and I just trusted Arizona a little bit more to be able to get the stops. But, I mean, the Houston game, I'm not taking anything away from Illinois. Houston would have lost to a lot of teams the way they shot yesterday. Like, they just shot as poorly as you could shoot. We'll get back to Royals coming up at the top of the hour. Very happy to be joined by Josh Verner, our Royals insider, for his first appearance of the season. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game. And now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Sex, intimacy, love. These three things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. Turn to Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. With temperatures rising, now's the time to make sure your AC is ready to keep you cool. Whether it's your home or your business, Comfort Systems services both residential and commercial systems across the Kansas City area. Call today for a fast tune-up, repair, or a system upgrade so you can stay cool all summer long. Family owned and operated since 1990, comforting people is what we do. Comfort Systems is right for you. MyComfortSystems.com.
Hey, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And Rob, I'm Scott Parks from Dan and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC will feature the biggest names who made the World Cup in Kansas City possible. Plus, the biggest storylines heading into this summer's tournament. This is not a podcast about soccer. Don't get us wrong. This is a podcast about Kansas City. This is a podcast for Kansas City. And this is a podcast that'll tell the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes will be released every Wednesday starting on March 4th, as well as video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ's social channels.
Subscribe and download to Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series with myself and Rob Breton on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Furnished by IntelliBrands.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new patented Legsercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural, drug-free way.
Using Legsercise made walking painless again.
Legsercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
I have much less swelling and no more tingling.
Call right now and order your very own Legsercise Pro, the new proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Hey Kansas City, this is Cole Reagans. On your way home from the K, tune into Vern's postgame show right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Josh Verner, our Royals insider, as baseball season is here in Kansas City. Vern, how you doing today, my man?
Doing really well, C-Dot. How about yourself, man?
Absolutely. Vern, before we get going, give me a baseball movie that you love. Give me a baseball movie that you're like, I don't really like this one.
That I love, Major League 2, Major League 1, The Sandlot, and Bull Durham are the first that come to mind. Baseball movies that I do not love. What's the one that I watched with you and Rob? Summer Catch.
That's a good
awful.
movie. I'm not going to let you talk down on Summer Catch.
No. Is that the Justin Timberlake one?
No, that's the one with Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what I meant.
Summer Catch is the one. You know, the one that never really did it for me is Little Big League. Was never a big fan.
That's the Minnesota Twins one.
Yeah, that's where the kid becomes the manager. I was much more of a Rookie of the Year guy.
Agreed. Push comes to shove. Rookie of the Year was funny. I don't remember any funny moments in Little Big League. It was cool where Griffey was in that, right? You know, the big league appearances were neat in that movie, but there weren't as many laughs as there were in Rookie of the Year.
So, Vern, really happy to have you on today. I think you have as good of a gauge of how fans are feeling better than anybody when it comes to the Royals. I'm getting a sense that there is a lot of optimism around this team. Are you getting that same feeling?
Yes, and there should be back-to-back winning seasons, but I still get that old school Kansas City feeling where, yeah, we're excited for this baseball team, but we're not pushing the chips in so much as to say they better win the division. Man, I hope they win the division. I think they're going to make the playoffs. We're yet to demand from this organization. At least I don't feel a demand from the fan base to see a consistent winner. Now, there's a desire, of course, but the way that we feel about the Chiefs, and I understand there's no reason to feel the way about the Royals that you do the Kansas City Chiefs. But, I'm listening to you guys yesterday, and Rob described last year's Chiefs season as, I think, like pitiful, which, I'm not going to fight you, but I feel like the Royals equivalent to the 2025 Kansas City Chiefs, I still feel like that team we find silver linings in. I don't want to be searching for silver linings with this team, and I don't think anybody should be.
Yeah, the point that I've been making, it sounds like you heard it, and I'm happy that you and I are on the same page, and that's just going to kind of define our conversations throughout the course of the year is I feel like expectations with the Royals have always just been very ambiguous, that I want to see the young guys get developed. Well, what does that mean? Or turning them in all-stars, winning games? Like, nobody can ever really, to me, pencil in what the expectation is. This year's a very simple pass or fail. Do you make the playoffs or not? And I'd like to see the Royals be the team that hosts the games in the wild card. That would be a successful year to me. I'm not holding them to championship expectations, but this is a team that should feel like they should make the playoffs and has a legitimate chance of winning the American League Central, a thing they've only done one time in the last 40 years.
And I don't know if this franchise ever gets to a place to where it's world title or bust, but honestly, C-Dot, I think that pass, fail, playoffs or no, I think that was last year. To me, I'm beyond that. Now, I certainly wouldn't call a wild card spot a disappointing season, but I would call it underwhelming. I'm falling short of the stated goal from everybody inside that clubhouse. And what it says on paper. I understand what the odds makers say. They're given the edge slightly to the Detroit Tigers. But on paper, there isn't a better offense than this Royals 1-9, especially if Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen can make themselves everyday hitters. And you look around this division right now, every team that is vying for the division crown is relying on a combination of kids. You saw Kevin McGonigal yesterday in Detroit go 4 for 5 at his big league debut. Max Clark's on his way up from AAA. Last night, Cleveland, their rookie, Chase DeLauder, hits 2 bombs. Former number 1 pick Travis Benzana, not far behind him. They have 2 highly touted prospects that are expected to be the difference makers for their offense because, as we saw here in Kansas City and in Detroit, the difference maker offensively was not brought in from the outside. It's coming internally. And that combination in Kansas City's Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen. So when I look at this Royals offense, you look at that rotation. No, it doesn't have the star power of Detroit at the top, but I think it has a better 4-5 in the rotation than they have in Detroit. To me, the expectation is, to me, it goes in line with my theme for the season, which is the standard. You know, Bobby Witt Jr. talks about his 2025, a season in which he finished 4th for the MVP. He calls it a down year. The team looks at last year, 82 wins, back-to-back winning seasons, something that normally would have been celebrated by this fan base. It's viewed by that clubhouse as a disappointment. So to me, it's on this team this season to make 2025 the down year. Set the standard for the rest of this decade as Bobby, Michael Garcia, Jack Caglione, and Carter Jensen. That quartet is together through the 2030 season. 2026, to me, is the division title ball club. You need to set the standard of what the expectation is for the duration of Bobby Witt Jr.'s prime.
Right now, we're talking to Josh Verner, our Royals insider, taking a closer look at the season, getting you ready for opening day. Vern, I see a lot of similarities between 2013, early 2014, and where we are right now with the Royals organization. Do you see those comparisons?
Well, I mean, I could search for some, certainly, but as you know, my immediate reaction is no, because 2013, 2014, those teams at this point of the season had no playoff experience. This team has been there. There's a few guys in there with rings, a few guys that have been to multiple deep runs into October. That team in 2013, 2014 didn't have anybody that could hold a candle to Bobby Witt Jr., and Lorenzo Cain wasn't at the point where he could hold a candle to Michael Garcia. So pitching staff, sure. You know, as far as the investment, but you know what? Even the pitching staff investment, that was a few years ago. 2013 is when they went out and brought in James Shields. That, to me, is analogous to 2024 when they brought in Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha. This season, and the only thing I can compare this season to is, had they missed the playoffs in 2015, how you would have felt going into 2016, where they better get back or else this whole thing isn't what we thought it was.
Right now, we're talking to our Royals insider, Josh Verner, getting his thoughts as we are getting you ready for opening day. Let's talk about today. We'll bounce around a little bit. What do you make of Jack Caglione not being part of the opening day lineup?
Yeah, the fan in me is certainly frustrated because the Royals fan in me wants this coaching staff as confident in him as I am, right? Because we want Jack Caglione to work out. I want my manager to stand there in the pregame scrum and say, well, they react to us. We're riding with our guys. Damn what the numbers say. These are my dudes, and I'm rolling with my dudes. I don't care who's on the mound, even if it is Chris Sale, a future Hall of Fame lefty. But that's not who the Royals are. In your heart of hearts, I don't think that's who you want the Royals to be, the screw the numbers, I'm going with my gut, I'm going with my boys. But, I do hope Jack Caglione's angry. I hope he's able to harness that anger because he's likely to be called upon in a big spot later on in this game. I'll be surprised if Lane Thomas comes up in the big spots against a right-hander, that number 3 spot in the lineup. Wouldn't be surprised to see Cags come off the bench or replacing Starling Marte in a big at-bat later on in the game. But yeah, just like Michael Garcia was pissed off at Q when he was on the bench to start the opener last year, I hope that exact same thing is happening with Jack Caglione because the onus is on him to earn this start today. Because if you look at his numbers last year, there's no way in hell you think he's going to hit Chris Sale. Go out there for the first few weeks of the season, hit lefties well, and then when Garrett Crochet or a Tarek Skubal or some other left-handed monsters on the schedule, maybe your name will be in the lineup. Sure, Carter Jensen's in there, batting 9th, so hopefully he only faces Chris Sale twice, but push comes to shove. Who do you trust getting 2 at-bats against Sale? Jensen or Cags? Royals went with Jensen.
That's how I read it, too, and it sounds like you and I are coming from the same perspective. How I see it is one player earned this based on how they played in 2025. The other one didn't. Now, we only got a 20-game sample size from Carter Jensen, but when you hit
neither one of them hit lefties either, but correct, go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the way that they did last year, and to me, it just comes down to trust. Somebody had to be this team designated hitter. You're not making it Kyle Isbell. If we were basing it off what one player did last year, I thought one player did a little bit more, so they are going with that where I want to see both of these guys. But I guess more specifically when it comes to Jack Caglione, you got to get to the point where regardless of who's on the mound, you are one of our core guys, so we're going to have you out there today, and he just hasn't gotten to that point yet.
Right. When this team arrives in October, the lineup for Game 1 against Garrett Cole needs to be the exact same lineup for Game 2 against Max Fried. Right-handed, left-handed, I want my big dogs going out there and eating. For as frustrated as I want Jack Caglione, not seeing his name in the lineup, I even want Vinny a little hacked off that he's down in the 5 spot. Now, again, you dive into Lane Thomas's career numbers against lefties. You look at what Starling Marte did last year against lefties. I understand why these guys are in the spots they're in the opening day roster. But for a team that has been confident all spring, you heard Eric Hosmer earlier today with Fesco and Dusty talking about the air of this team as they walked onto the field, as they're getting ready for their workouts yesterday. You could just tell they expect to win. I love that. I love the confidence. But I wouldn't mind this team also to be a little pissed off, to have a little bit of an edge about them, to be somewhat scrappy, because for as much fun as the past 2 years have been watching this team win more than it loses, there really hasn't been that. Outside of the occasional glare from Michael Garcia towards a Jazz Chisholm, there hasn't been much dust-ups, much blank you from one side to the other. And I don't know, maybe I'm too old school, but it just seems if you want to get to that mountaintop, if you want to plant your flag and say we are the team to beat in the American League Central for the rest of the decade, you're going to have to punch a few dudes in the face.
I don't know if you remember this or not, but the Chiefs used to have a sign outside the locker room that said play good football.
Oh, yeah.
Then they had one that said eliminate bad football.
Yeah.
My point for the Royals this year is avoid the bad month. If the Royals could have avoided June last year, they likely make the playoffs last year. Where this team, there's certainly enough talent there. They are going to be in it. I would be very surprised if we look up and in August the Royals are out of it. I think they are going to be in it. But they spent basically all of July, all of August, and all of September just trying to dig themselves out of the hole that they created for themselves in June. If this organization can avoid the bad month, and you've certainly seen a lot of them as your time as the Royals insider, they really got a shot to win the division.
Yeah, and what was so shocking about that last year, what was that despite having one of the 10 best rotations in Major League Baseball, the offense was so bad that it dragged them down enough to where they were on the outside looking in. The reason why you don't predict a down month is because this rotation, once again, is in line to be one of the 10 best in Major League Baseball every single day. And I think this goes to your point of you should always feel good about your chance to win the game, or at least you should always feel good about flipping the game on in the sixth inning and the Royals are in it, because Reagan's today, then Waka tomorrow, Lugo, Bubic, into Noah Cameron, and then waiting in the wings down in Omaha, knock on wood, Lewinder Avila and Ryan Bergert. You feel good about the guy that you're handing the ball to every single day, all 5 days. And there's maybe 5 other teams in Major League Baseball that can say the same thing. So when you have what matters most, pitching, you have a lot of speed, especially at the top. You know you can defend, especially on the left side of that infield, and you feel good about the names on paper offensively. Again, there's no reason why this team shouldn't win the division. Barring something catastrophic health-wise, there's no reason this team shouldn't win the division, and you're not going to win the division with a bad month.
Right now, we're talking to Josh Verner here for a few more minutes, getting his thoughts as we were getting ready for opening day. What's your feeling on Cole Reagans heading into 2026?
Yeah, he's one that if he stays healthy, I think sky's the limit. 200 strikeouts, leading Major League Baseball in strikeouts. There's just nothing I've seen from this guy really since he was acquired. There's nothing I've seen from Cole Reagans when right that leads me to believe he's not one of the 10 best on the planet. So if he could take the ball every fifth day, I guess my biggest question really when it comes to Cole Reagans can't be answered until October. Because sure, he's going to have quite the matchup today, Chris Sale. But today's not one of those days where I'm looking at him going, hey, I need you to be an ace of an ace. Whatever Sale does, I need you to do him one better. Those type of requests don't happen until September or October. The next step for Cole Reagans is becoming the Chris Sale, becoming the top Max Fried, the top line guys that not only get it done in the regular season, but get it done when everybody's watching in October. So stay healthy. He'll be there in the Cy Young conversation at the end of the season. And then we really get to see what we have in Reagans. Because, again, this isn't a guy that's under team control for all that much longer. I think it's only 2 more seasons after this. So 3 more years, 26, 27, 28. So, no, 2 more years after this. So, Reagans has a chance to also set a standard, to plant a flag that I'm not injury prone, that I am one of the best of the best. And if you want me long term, you better lock me up now.
There's a large group of people that are going to find out some new names on the Royals later today. What's new with the Royals for people who have not been keeping up?
First name that comes to mind, well, I guess I got to go with the guy hitting third today. Lane Thomas is in center field. He can fly. Not the defender that Kyle Isbell is, but I think Kyle Isbell's one of the 5, 7 best defensive center fielders in Major League Baseball. He could go get it. He's a fine center fielder, better than league average, but what he does better than most when healthy is crush left-handed pitching to the tune of a lifetime OPS near 860. League average is a little better than 700, so an 860 OPS shows the kind of thump and on base that Lane Thomas possesses. But shoot, Thomas performed so well in spring training, and 2 years ago, as a member of the Washington Nationals, performed so well that this was more of an everyday guy, more so than a platoon bat. So my hope is hit well today, continue hitting well, and make Kyle Isbell truly earn those at-bats, right? Start stealing some of those right-handed pitching at-bats. I'd like to see Lane Thomas become a real force for this team. Wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe not always hitting third against lefties, but hitting top 6 against lefties and righties. Lane Thomas is the first name to be acquainted with. Matt Strahm, the long-haired lefty that the Royals drafted about a decade ago. He's going to be your fireman to start the season. He's a free agent after this year, given up on by the Philadelphia Phillies, so I know he has a chip on his shoulder. Isaac Collins is getting the start in left field. He's a switch hitter that you acquired from the Brewers in the Angel Zerpa trade. Also in that trade, acquiring right-handed reliever Nick Mears, who's in the bullpen. Mears, along with Alex Lang, a former Detroit Tiger right-hander, unlikely to pitch the high-leverage innings. They're fifth, sixth inning guys to start the season. But Lane Thomas, Matt Strom, Isaac Collins, the left fielder, the switch hitter from the Brewers that I mentioned, an unimpressive spring training, but a hard-nosed ball player that I think if he can hit the ground running, the city will fall in love with.
I want to get you out of here when it comes to the bullpen. How confident are you in this bullpen to hold things down 7 innings or later?
Not as confident as I am in the rotation, the defense, the team speed. I think I might even be more confident in the offense than the bullpen. So, yeah, not that I'm down on the bullpen. Again, I think the Royals are the team to beat in the division, or at least the team that's going to win this division. So I don't think they have a fatal flaw, obviously. But Carlos Estevez is yet to sit 92 miles per hour with his fastball. Now, he's still getting outs. He's still a cagey vet. He could still procure outs at the big league level even without his big velo. He did it last year, eventually built up, and you saw more 95-plus from the big right-hander. So, but we'll see. That was last year. We'll see if he can do it again. Questions about Lucas Erceg. He gangbusters when he first came over in 2024, eye-popping strikeout numbers that took a nosedive last year. Those strikeout numbers were nowhere to be found in spring this season. We'll see if they show up in the regular season. And then, like I mentioned, the Philadelphia Phillies gave Matt Strom away, basically. And the Phillies are very much a World Series or bust team. So they chose Johan Duran and Brad Keller for their bullpen over Matt Strom. So, you're getting the scraps from the Phillies. You're getting a lesser than Carlos Estevez and the Lucas Erceg that can't get the strikeout when he needs it. Those are your big three right now in your bullpen. There are options waiting in the wings down in Omaha. Maybe better options eventually waiting in the wings down in Omaha. So it's not as if this ship will be sunk by Estevez or Erceg or Matt Strom, but it could be a little bumpy as we set sail here in late March.
I'll get you out of here with these last 2 questions, Vern. You gamble a little bit from time to time. Sure. What would you set the Vegas odds on getting a Chester phone call later today?
Now I don't know. I don't know if Chester's still around, to be quite honest with you. I think we may have lost Chester.
Oh my goodness! I wasn't trying to bring this to a dark negative.
Yeah. Happy opening day, bro. Thanks a lot, man. R.I.P. Yeah, I mean,
Chester, I hope that's not the case. If you're out there listening, we'll take your phone call.
Text lines told me multiple times that we lost my man. We'll see. Yeah. Hey, please call us up, dude. We're worried about you.
Absolutely, we are worried. What would you put it on a Big T phone call? What's the odds later today? Because I think when I think of a Royals post game, I think of Chester and I think of choo choo.
Sure.
What are the odds of us getting a Big T phone call later today?
I think they're even better than a Michigan win. So yeah, it's happening.
All right,
it's happening.
That is our guy Josh Verner joining us on the show today. He's going to have one eye on the baseball game.
No, both eyes on the baseball game. I'm just playing.
Okay, my bad. I wasn't sure. I mean, everybody would understand it if you had, one eye on the Sweet 16 and one eye on the Royals. I'm not mad at that if that's the case.
I'm not sweating this game. No, they got this. Moving on.
Okay.
Talk to you this weekend.
All right. That's our guy, Josh Verner. Vern, we appreciate you, man.
My man, appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's Josh Verner joining us on the show. I actually saw him yesterday. He was up here. We got a chance to chat in person for a little bit. Always good to see Josh Verner. Rob, what's a baseball movie that you hate?
Trouble with the Curve.
I don't think I've seen that. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't think I ever actually watched the movie.
I don't think it's like bad. I think, it's
what is it even about?
It's an old Clint Eastwood plays a very old scout whose whole ability to scout is based on hearing it, and then he helps his daughter become a scout, and they have like a fight about a prospect with the analytics department of the Braves, and it turns out he has bad eyesight, and It's kind of gooby, honestly, all things. And then they find a kid who's like the concession guy at a high school game who becomes a phenom. It's a newer one that just doesn't hit home with me.
Yeah, I'm reading the IMDb description right now. A daughter tries to remedy her dysfunctional relationship with her ailing father, a decorated baseball scout, by helping him in a recruiting trip, which could be his last. Yeah, that's not my kind of baseball movie. Clint Eastwood, Amy Adams, and Justin Timberlake. Somebody had that idea for a baseball movie? Is Clint Eastwood still alive?
I believe so, yes.
You sure?
No, I'm not sure, but I believe he is.
Let's Google it, because I don't know if Clint Eastwood's still alive. I'm just not 100% one way or the other. Like, you could tell me it could go either way. Oh, let's look it up. I don't know if Clint Eastwood's still with us. He is. He is still with us. Clint Eastwood. He was born May 31st, 1930. He is 95 years old. Well, good for him.
What's one you don't like, real quick? I know everyone's going to break.
Little Big League. I said that earlier. I'm not a big fan of Little Big League. Not really my kind of movie. Just I wasn't a huge fan of Little Big League. Sitting here reading it, I didn't know. I wasn't sure if Clint Eastwood was with us. I really wasn't sure. But now I now see this. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Well, I didn't know. I had absolutely no clue. No disrespect to Clint Eastwood. All of us have a favorite Clint Eastwood movie. Watching him in Gran Torino just say racial slurs for 2 hours, words I never heard before, was honestly kind of interesting. It was an interesting film. If you've never seen Gran Torino, I would give it 2 thumbs up. I enjoyed that movie. All right, coming up on the other side, we'll get back to talking about the Kansas City Royals. We will tell you what Vegas thinks about the boys in blue. That's coming up. Keep it right here. So drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That doesn't matter if it's the money line, the point spread. Maybe you want to play a futures on who you think is going to make the playoffs in the fall. You can do all of that with our friends over at FanDuel. You can even mix things up with the same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. All you need to do, visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day. So it doesn't matter if it's for the brackets or baseball season. You want to be with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days on the street. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Kevin Harlan, and if I sound a little tired, it's because it's Ford Truck Month at Rob's Side Ford.
You and me both, Kevin. It's been nonstop.
Well, Rob, remind me again why.
Because Rob's Site Ford is offering brand new F-150s up to $16,500 off, 0% financing for 60 months, and 0 payments for 90 days.
Yes, that'll do it.
And that's just the F-150s. We've got the best deals of the year on Super Duty, Ranger, and Maverick.
Okay, so let me get this straight, Rob. Massive savings, strong financing, no payments for 3 months, and people are showing up?
It's nonstop.
Funny how that works.
Turns out, when you've got the inventory, the price, and the experience, people notice.
Especially when you're Kansas City's #1 top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars and over 3,000 reviews.
And Kansas City's top volume F-150 dealer.
No wonder you're tired. It's Ford Truck Month at Rob's Side Ford, 135th and State Line, or robsite.com.
But don't wait. These offers end soon.
Vicky Stevens writes, "We weren't happy with the way things turned out last season, so I made the call. Weedman's been a total game changer. Fertilization, weed control, the whole 9 yards. Our lawn has never looked better. The neighbors are so jealous, they avoid me at the supermarket. It's fantastic. Go to weedman.com, enter promo code GREEN, and get 1 free service."
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming,
especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, save more on what goes into the job. Add power to your lineup with a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, and more. Get the job done right. Keep more in your pocket. That's Pro Savings Days. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on anything.
March matchups are here. Trade the tournament in all 50 states on Kalshi. St. John's is trading at 29% to beat Duke. A $100 trade pays out $328 if they win. Download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 off when you trade. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, downtown's still very heavy. That stall that was 35 northbound at front is gone. Again, I still see some red and some yellow. We've still got the stall 35 northbound down at 435. It's the right lane block there. I'm now with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
All right, welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Really happy to be here with you. Coming up in about 15 minutes or so, we'll talk some college basketball. In about 30 minutes, our guy Aaron Ladd is going to join us on the show as well. A lot to get into here. So this is purely going by the Vegas over-under on win totals. So I don't want anybody texting in, oh, but you said no. I did not say that. I'm telling you right now what the odds makers say. The odds makers believe the Yankees are the best team in the American League. That's no shock there. So they have the Yankees winning their division. They have the Mariners also winning their division. Vegas is very, very high on the American League East. They have the Yankees winning the division. They have the Blue Jays as a wild card team. They have the Red Sox as a wild card team. They have the Orioles as one of the wild card teams. So just in that next tier of teams, they have the Astros with 84.5 wins. That's their over-under. They have the Rangers. Their over-under on wins is 84.5. The Royals is at that 82, 83.5, depending on where you get your number, depending on the book. So if you are going solely based off the win projection totals, the odds makers see the Royals as a borderline wild card team. I think that's fair going into the season. I think you have to count the Tigers as the best team in the American League Central. They proved it last year. They made a little bit of a run. If you were saying going into the season that you were going to handicap it as the Tigers as the favorite, that makes some sense to me. So that puts you in the wild card conversation if you are the Kansas City Royals. The Royals have to prove that you're more consistent than some of these other teams. Now, we see this all the time, regardless of the sport. There are going to be teams that overachieve the expectations. There are going to be teams that underachieve. Right now, what the Royals need to be, according to Vegas, they need to be slight overachievers. What needs to happen for that to be the case? They need Cole Reagans back this year. I think that is the difference in you being an 83, 84 win team and possibly being an 88 win team. They need a consistent contribution from either Carter Jensen or Jack Caglione. We'll see if that's what they get. But I think the numbers, Rob, are pretty laid out here on what the expectations are. The Royals are a borderline wild card team that obviously will have a realistic chance in the division.
I also think when you look at the rest of baseball, and we don't evaluate baseball the same way we evaluate football, and I get why, but when you look at the rest of it, the odds makers think the AL East is just full of those type of teams. So if you're a Royals fan going into the year looking at the Vegas odds, you got to think we got to have a healthy Cole Reagans, probably a productive Jack Caglione, and you're going to need the AL East to beat up on each other. That's what you as a Royals fan need to be cheering for this year, because if you're not going to win the division, you are not just competing with the Tigers and the Guardians anymore. You're competing with the Rangers, Astros, Mariners, Rays, Orioles, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Yankees. So looking at the odds, to me, what stood out is the Royals are viewed as a team that will compete for a wild card spot, and you delve in a little deeper and look at, hey, how are they going to compete? You need the AL East to start beating up on one another so that they can depress their win totals, which will give the Royals a chance to rise, because after the Royals and Rangers and the Guardians a little bit, then there's a steep drop-off in the Royals division of what other teams are expected to be. The White Sox and Twins are not viewed as next up in the AL Central.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think another thing, too, is I think we're kind of saying the same thing here, is the Royals got to showcase themselves against the heavyweights in the American League. Now, a lot of teams do this, but last year, the Royals, they didn't win a game against the New York Yankees. It was very, very obvious that there was a big gap between where the Yankees were and then where you were as a team. As you continue to go up and down the American League, they had a losing record last year against the White Sox. They had a losing record last year against the Tigers. So a lot of those teams that you would consider to be the heavyweights in the American League, they ended up falling a little bit short. You and I were talking about this earlier, Rob. There's a lot of comparisons, I think, between the Royals and the Chiefs. Now, I understand the Chiefs have a higher ceiling because of the coach, because of the quarterback, and because of their history. But, man, if you're talking about last year, one of the reasons why the Chiefs didn't miss the playoffs is every good team that they went up against in the AFC, they lost last year. If you're looking last season with the Kansas City Royals, hey, one of the reasons why the Royals didn't make the playoffs is if you were going by and you were looking at the other teams that did make the playoffs in the American League, you were just not on their level last year. Can you now showcase not just about the American League East beating up on each other, but when you go up against Baltimore, when you go up against Cleveland, when you go up against Detroit, you got to show that you're in their weight class. That's where this starts. The Royals went 5-8 against Cleveland last year. They went 4-8 against Detroit last year. You lose the division by a couple of games. Those are your games right there where you lost them.
What's really startling to me is startling's a poor term. What's really interesting to me is you have those numbers, and the Royals still won 82 games last year. Now, there was definitely a time in Kansas City where 82 wins was a parade. There was a time in Kansas City where finishing 500 had the GM saying it feels like winning a World Series.
Sure.
Those days have come and gone. But when you look at a team that won 82 games last year and was absolute dog water against the good teams in baseball, there is a reason for optimism. You pointed out the Guardians and the Tigers basically dominated the Royals. The Yankees absolutely mauled. It was like a 1 versus 16 seed in the NCAA tournament.
They got outscored by the Yankees last year 11-29. They scored 11 runs in 6 games against the New York Yankees last year.
By the way, giving up 5 a game is
3
also wow.
In their crib. You couldn't even score in Yankee Stadium. You couldn't do that last year. So yeah, I mean, I'm here giving you the numbers. Right now, the Royals over under, it is 82.5 on your favorite sportsbook app. If you want to end up taking it, I would take the over on the Royals. I think that's a fair number for the Royals. I don't think they're being disrespected in any way by that being the number. They've had a winning record in each of the last 2 seasons. They certainly are warranted going into it thinking that they will win more games than they lose. But I don't know, just based on A, what they did last season, and then also B, based on the improvements that they made to their team, I'm not really sure if you can have them too much higher up the power ratings if we are looking at it coming into the season. Like, that's basically what the over-under win total is. It's a power ranking. It's what Vegas thinks. They think the Dodgers are the best team, the Yankees, Mets, Mariners, Phillies. That's how they're ranking it, so on and so forth. So I think the Royals, based on what they did last season, and at some point, you got to go out and prove it. Jack Caglione has to go out and prove it. Carter Jensen has to go out and prove it. Cole Reagans, and we could talk more about him, Cole Reagans has got to stay healthy, and he's got to prove it again. Like, as much as I think the Royals are a known commodity in some spots with Bobby Witt and Garcia and Pasquantino and those names, they also got a handful of guys, either you haven't done it yet or you need to prove to everybody else that you can go run it back and that you can do it again. And the Royals just have a lot of guys that I would say fit in that criteria. Coming up on the other side, we're going to talk a little bit of college basketball. Tonight's slate of college games are absolutely fantastic. We'll discuss them. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. So here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. You can even mix things up with same-game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. So just visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. And remember, place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. Perhaps you think one of these number 1 seeds go down later on this week to get us down to just 2 remaining 1 seeds. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. Turn to Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. With temperatures rising, now's the time to make sure your AC is ready to keep you cool. Whether it's your home or your business, Comfort Systems services both residential and commercial systems across the Kansas City area. Call today for a fast tune-up, repair, or a system upgrade so you can stay cool all summer long. Family owned and operated since 1990, comforting people is what we do. Comfort Systems is right for you. MyComfortSystems.com.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle, ultra-fine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's biggest moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, two-car crash now up at 435 northbound. It's the on-ramp from northeast 48th, but still very heavy on northbound 435. The crash in Grandview is gone, but still very heavy, actually, both north and southbound sides. Stall 35 northbound before 435. Right lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Bobby Witt Jr. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Aaron Ladd is going to join us here coming up in about 15 minutes or so. Rob, I know we still have a little bit more to go in the NCAA tournament. Have we already put the crown on the Big Ten's head, given what we've seen them do in college football the last couple of years, given the showing that they are currently having in the NCAA tournament? The Big Ten is the best conference in college athletics right now, right? Like, that's a true super conference, what you are seeing. The success they're having in football, the run that they are having in basketball, I think you have to rank them number one right now, correct?
Yes, but do they need a champion to do that in basketball, or is it just because of the sheer volume of teams they got it? Because, like, I do think Michigan can win a title. Like, I'm not trying to discount Michigan. I think Purdue could maybe win a title. I don't think Illinois or Iowa are going to have to win a title, but I mean, Arizona's title good, Duke's title good. If one of those teams steals from the Big Ten, is it still the Big Ten's the top dog, or is it, hey, you had all these teams in the Elite Eight, you're good, you're set?
I'm interested you say that about Illinois, because I think Illinois has proven themselves where I wouldn't be stunned. I mean, they're not my favorite. I'm not here telling you that I think that, but I mean, they're favorite in the Elite Eight going into.
That's matchup dependent, though. Like, if they were if they win and they get out of that game, they're now looking at Duke, Michigan State, or UConn, like, not to diminish St. John's. They're not favored in that game if they play in the Final Four. And then we both think it'll be Arizona. They are or Michigan. They're not favored against either of those teams either.
No, for sure. But, I mean, if you had the ability to go on the road basically in Houston and control that game the way that they did and beat them by double digits the way that they did, Illinois can beat just about anybody. The Final Four this year is also in Indianapolis, so a very, very easy drive for your fan base to be able to make the trip. Again, I'm not here telling you that I'm picking Illinois to win this thing. I think Arizona's going to win it. I also like UConn. But I'm looking at the Big Ten. I'm looking at what they've done so far. I'm looking at Illinois. This team's been impressive so far. I mean, they ran VCU off the floor. They just went to Houston. They beat them by double digits. They're the favorite heading into this matchup against Iowa. I think this Illinois team is really, really good. They got a future NBA guard. They got a really solid group of kids that just all kind of really know each other's role. I think you're kind of discrediting this Illinois team just a little bit. Now, let's take a look at the matchups that we have coming up later today. I mean, I think you could argue this is the best night of college basketball on paper. Now, volume-wise, yes, there's been games of more day. Yes, for sure. You got St. John's and Duke is getting back one of their key starters. I actually think St. John's being a 6.5-point favorite is a little bit flawed to me. I think St. John's is playing at a really high level right now. You got Alabama and Michigan. The over-under on that game is 172. So Vegas is telling you points. They think this is going to be a very high-scoring affair. You got two, at least on Rob's scale, two near blue bloods. They're not blue bloods the same way that Kansas is. They're not blue bloods the way that Kentucky or Carolina is, but they're in that next tier. This is according to Rob. Michigan State and UConn. You got two great coaches, great pedigree. Those two teams are going up against each other. And then later today, you got Tennessee going up against Iowa State. I think this is a really, really solid night of college basketball.
I actually feel bad that the Royals opening day got marooned off to a Friday night. There's a bunch of reasons about that. One of them is I feel like Kansas City is going to have an eye toward basketball tonight on top of the Royals. Like, we have our Royals opening night watch party night at Maloney's. The staff will be there, the whole deal. I've already talked to Drew. Drew's like, yeah, I'll watch the Royals. But have you seen the Sweet 16 matchups tonight? I feel like baseball screwed up with the Royals, putting them on a Friday night, standalone up against college basketball. The ratings aren't going to do great because these college games are just incredible. Also, you don't have Michigan State as a blue blood either. What are you talking about? Like, I'm the only one who feels this way.
I have UConn as one, and you don't have them as one. So that's where I think you and I are different.
I would have UConn in the Champions Classic, and I would kick Michigan State out.
Here you go. Why are you going to disrespect Michigan State?
They don't do nothing in November that warrants playing in a big tournament.
That's why they're a good team to have. They always look good for the RPI. That's why the other three schools have come together. They want to keep them in there because UConn will come in there and just start smacking all those other teams around. But no, you got Michigan State in there. That's a good win in November. And then later on in the year when they end up being a 3 seed, you beat Michigan State 4 months ago. Everybody looks highly on that win. It's actually very strategic in my mind what those other schools do.
I don't even know who won the Kentucky-Michigan State game this year, but somewhere Kentucky fans are probably nodding approvingly. Yeah, we got Sparty. Look at us. We took care of business.
Are you still off the St. John's wave?
Yes. I'm still off the St. John's wave.
Okay. I mean, Duke has not played well so far in this tournament.
Duke has not been great. Duke's also been without Foster. He's supposed to be back tonight, which should change things for their offense.
Yeah, but man has a fracture in his foot. How much are we expecting him to be able to contribute today?
I mean, even if he just handles the ball and initiates offense, that's an improvement on what they've been doing.
I don't know.
No disrespect to the other Boozer, but Evan's just better. Not Evans, excuse me. Foster's just better. Like that. There's a reason he starts.
Yeah, I actually like St. John's plus the 6.5 today. I'm a fan of that.
I mean, I think the game will be close. I just think Duke's better than St. John's.
Yeah, you're just not a St. John's believer. You're gonna pick against St. John's every round, and then they'll lose in the national championship. And you'll be like, "Oh, see, I told you they were gonna lose." Oh wait, you've been wrong about it for 5 straight games.
They're not making it through this weekend. On Monday, I guess we have no show Monday for opening day.
You know what they
on
are?
Tuesday,
they're your Iowa. That's what they are. How I keep picking against Iowa, that's how you are when it comes to St. John's.
That's fair.
Because I'm picking against Iowa again this week. I'm taking Illinois to advance to the Final Four. So no, they're your Iowa, and that's fair. That happens.
They don't score enough. Like one of the reasons that game got close last weekend with KU, and there was no reason it got close, is they just went into a scoring drought. If you do that against Duke, you're in trouble. They didn't score for like 2.5 to 3 minutes in the KU game last week. And KU's defense, I know Ken Pom liked it. I watched every dribble. It's not as good as Ken Pom says.
I want to play a couple of pieces of audio for you guys before we're joined by Aaron Ladd coming up at the top of the hour. Eric Hosmer was on the morning show earlier today. Here he is sharing his belief in Jack Caglione.
But when I was out in Surprise, I'm talking to JJ, and I'm like, man, it's got to feel good because you're sending Cag to Team Italy, but he's with Vinny P. I would feel like JJ, the GM, it's like, man, like I want him to have this opportunity, but I really want him in my camp, developing him. I want our guys, our coaches, under him and watching him for that full 3-4 weeks, whatever it is. But the fact that he got to go out there with Vinny P, I feel like every pitching change, every time in the dugout, you saw Vinny and Cags together talking about something. The big homer he hit against USA, against Yarbo, I mean, this is a big league stage, a playoff type of atmosphere. The whole world's watching. He did it off a lefty. So that's a big, big moment for his development right there because when you're able to slow your heartbeat down as a hitter, that is huge. And to have that kind of at bat heading into this 162-game season, I think is going to be big for him. So I loved it for Cags, and then I love that we got to send him with Vinny P. And I think that's part of like these guys making that next transition into their career, being veterans, is being able to have a young guy like Cags and feel comfortable sending him along with Vinny, knowing he's going to develop and do all the right stuff.
The big thing to me, at least with Jack Caglione, is just patience. We're still talking about a guy with very, very little experience. I'm not patting myself on the back for this take, but Rob, you remember one of the big points I was making when he was on the rise is just, hey, a lot more of these players that we like and know, like, they just play more minor league baseball than he did. And I think that acclimation time is just really, really important. I know college baseball is strong, but man, there's something against playing a lot of games in AA, a lot of games in AAA, and just helping get you ready to being a big leaguer. And one of my fears with Jack Caglione was you just played so few minor league baseball games. He played 28 games in Omaha, 28 games. So just, you didn't play a month of baseball up there. If you look at the plate appearances, the ABs, just the grind of going through it, I think kind of matters a little bit. And some guys just hit the ground running. Roman Anthony is a player that has just hit the ground running that you would say is a comparable prospect. Man, everybody's road is just a little bit different. So I'm not here to overreact yet when it comes to Jack Caglione. I mean, we're talking he has played 62 games with the Royals and has still less than 250 plate appearances. Let's see what he looks like when he gets to 500 plate appearances. Let's see what he looks like when he gets to 1,000 plate appearances. And then I think we can start to have the conversation about Jack Caglione. But he is 23 years old. And just based off, he's played 2 months of Major League Baseball. I'm not ready to come to any conclusion based off what we've seen so far. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Aaron Ladd to get his thoughts as we are getting ready for opening day. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5, The Fan.
Okay, two-car crash now up at 435 northbound. It's the on-ramp from northeast 48th, but still very heavy on northbound 435. The crash in Grandview is gone, but still very heavy, actually, both north and southbound sides. Stall 35 northbound before 435. Right lane blocked. I'm down with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Look at the weather outside. Baseball is in the air. Spring is in the air, and that means tailgate season. Well, with the home opener right around the corner, you are right around the corner from Gates Barbecue. They got 5 locations around town. That one over there on 40 Highway, I think, is actually the best location in the city. But you can always stop by any one of the area 5 locations. Stop by at lunch, get yourself the nooner, get yourself a beef on bun. You can stop in for dinner. You can also get yourself the mixed plate. I like to just get myself a slab of ribs and a fries to go. Heavy on the sauce, please. I know we got Easter coming up, so we got holiday season right around the corner. Maybe you're planning on having a family gathering for Easter. You can get yourself a small party tray, get yourself a large party tray, get yourself a presidential platter. The next time you're at the grocery store, be sure you pick up on some of the sauces and seasoning for your tailgate, for your home cooking, and around the house. Whatever your food needs are, either stop by the website, GatesBBQ.com, or any one of the 5 area Gates locations. The Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you the next time you're in the mood for barbecue, go get some of the best barbecue in the world with our friends over at Gates.
Hey, it's Gold, and my friends over at Shawnee Mission Ford are ready to make this the best truck month ever. You know how much I loved driving the F-150. You can drive one now as well. In fact, 25 F-150s now have 0% for 60 months, 90 days till your first payment, and large discounts and the no-charge lifetime warranty. Or you could get a new Maverick for $3,000 off MSRP. Come celebrate Truck Month at Shawnee Mission Ford. They're on a mission to do more in 26.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers! If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods. Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
You're always better with a roof from JR.
Here they come. A baseball-sized hailstorm means every roofer for 500 miles is on his way here to ring your doorbell. Before that happens, go online to jrstormcheck.com and relax. JR & Company is locally owned, veteran-owned, and family-owned. JR & Company offers a lifetime warranty on workmanship. But best of all, JR & Company offers a free Class 4 shingle upgrade. What does that mean? Most insurance companies offer premium discounts on Class 4 shingles. Remember, no roofer can legally offer to pay your deductible, but a free shingle upgrade can reduce premiums for years to come. Why do we do this? Because we can. A lifetime workmanship warranty and free shingle upgrade. It's why we say...
Always better with a roof from JR.
Just visit jrstormcheck.com.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's March, and that means there's no better time to start betting with Circa Sports. It doesn't matter how you're planning on betting the mayhem. Picking individual games, futures to make it through the bracket, props on your favorite players, or more. Circa Sports has you covered. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Play ball! Cody and Gold will be live outside Gate D starting at 10 for the Royals home opener on Monday, March 30th, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back into the show. Happy to be here. I mean, very fitting on Royals opening day that our guest comes in here and he just has so many of the Ops merch.
Brother, it's Braves opening day as well. What do you mean?
You have a Braves hat on.
I do.
You have a Braves hoodie on. Who was your favorite Braves player back in the day? I know you watched a little TBS back in the day, a little Braves baseball.
Not that old, Unc. Nice try.
Where'd you watch Braves baseball? That's where all of us watch the Braves. You watched a little Chipper Jones, a little Andrew Jones.
Yeah, you know what really sticks out in my mind, and these were not the best Braves players of all time by any stretch, but I think you know where I'm going with this.
Marquise Grissom.
We sold magazines in school. You know how everybody's got a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Ours was magazines. So that's how I got Sports Illustrated every year. I would re-up whenever the magazine came around. You know, the sneak code there is that's when you also get the swimsuit edition. You know, you sign up for the whole year. Mom doesn't know, you know what I mean? So anyway, the Braves got a cover with the Upton brothers.
I remember that one.
Justin Upton, BJ
and
Upton.
That Kate was
and
in
there was
I
a
remember
third.
that
There was
one.
a third
I remember
Upton.
Kate was on the
That one
cover
did
of
that one did absolute numbers.
Yeah, that you probably took the cover off and you had that one like a poster in the crib.
No, I had the magazine version. It was a little sticky at a certain point, but it was good.
Okay. Are the Braves going to be good this year? Are you optimistic about the Braves heading into this year? You're not in Atlanta anymore, so they might actually have a shot.
Okay, thanks for that. Am I optimistic? Yeah. You know, last year they started 0-8. And the Braves are one of those teams that it seems like there's always expectations, when Vegas is picking their odds or people are doing their beginning of the year power rankings, even if you don't really have a pulse on what they've done, it feels like the expectations are high considering what their history is. And look, the names are there. The names are absolutely there. Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies, Chris Sale, when healthy, Spencer Strider, Spencer Schwellenbach. Like, the names are there. The problem is there's always something that's come up, whether it's injuries, whether it's a slow start, whether the pitching not being there, the bullpen. I'm surprised that Raisel Iglesias is back to man the back end of that bullpen, but new manager for the first time in a very long time, which is something you've not been able to say for the Braves. I was begging them to go in a different direction than what they did. They essentially just stayed within the organization. Walt Weiss gets elevated as Brian Snitker now gets his jersey retired for some reason. I guess he won a World Series, but and my expectations are be a frisky wild card team at the very least.
It sounds like the expectations for the Royals and the Braves are almost identical, where I understand there are differences between the two, but a point that I've made this week is I feel like the Royals and the Chiefs, or maybe the first time in my life, have very similar expectations. Now, the Chiefs could win the Super Bowl. I'd be surprised if the Royals won the World Series, but the expectation for the Royals is win 11 games this year, win a playoff game.
The Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs. I'm saying get back to it. I feel like that's the expectations for the Royals. Like, the expectation for the Royals is make the playoffs. And if the Royals don't make the playoffs this year, there's going to be a large group of people that are disappointed because the Royals didn't make the postseason. They've had a winning season for each of the last 2 years. If they had avoided a bad June last year where they went 8-18, they likely make the postseason last year. There is definitely a playoff or bust feeling about the Royals, and that doesn't happen too much in Kansas City.
That's a win as a fan, Dot. We've been on these mics before where we're begging fans to show up.
I'm thrilled.
Go to the game and expect more than a free giveaway when you get there. I remember my buddy Alec Lewis covered this team for 4 seasons, and he told me the best win that he ever covered was in the midseason against the Minnesota Twins. I mean, you got to be proud or excited for what steps they've gotten to get here, and really the future as well. If you're comparing them to the Braves, who they match up against on this opening day, I mean, I don't know if it's a stretch to say the Royals have a brighter future, and considering where they're at right now, the investment in young talent. I heard you and Vern talking about Caglione and Carter Jensen and want to turn them in to everyday guys. The Braves are kind of in this window where it's like, okay, do we extend the guys that have got us here? Is our core enough to win us another title? I mean, when I was here in KC and they won it all, I really thought that was going to be a window where you get 2 or 3, where you really start running off a couple. Of course, the Dodgers have stood in the way of that in the National League, but if I'm a Royals fan, look, a wild card berth, and I'm glad that you gave a little bit more love to Detroit as well, because I do see them as a real contender, not just to win the AL Central, but to win it all as well if they can stay healthy and maintain their ace school, right? But the Royals are there and will be there for 4 to 5 years, which has got to be exciting for a fan.
When I was in college, I would say that Joplin was 90-10 Cardinals and Royals. Wasn't a whole lot of Royals love down in Joplin. You are in Columbia now. What would you say is the split between Royals and Cardinals?
My math is bad. 65-35, probably Cardinals. And then everybody in that camp kind of gets into the same tent come Chiefs season now because all the St. Louis folks hate the Rams, but yeah, I'm tapped in on what's going on the other side of I-70. J.J. Weatherholt goes yard in his debut, and they're trying to be frisky as well. I mean, they're in a completely different space than they're used to. But, yeah, Columbia's got that weird, Tigers are our one team, and then we split when it comes to the pro teams.
Is there a sense of optimism around this Royals team? Because you can definitely feel it in Kansas City. Like, there is energy about it. I think a lot of that stems from the World Baseball Classic. It's really picked up over the last 30 days with so many of their players performing well. Did you get that same sense in Columbia?
To a muted extent, sure. I think people were tapped into the World Baseball Classic because of the patriotism, and we're riding the high from the Olympics, and people want to wrap themselves and think that the United States is great at every single thing, which we like to prove that we are, but it didn't work out this time. Do I sense a Royals excitement in Columbia? Maybe not so much, but here, definitely. I still tap into the drive every once in a while, and I'm wondering why my Open didn't play. I asked you specifically to play the Open before
Aaron,
I
it's
came
gone.
here.
It's not coming back.
I don't understand how hard it could be. I mean, it's like...
because it's been deleted. It's
why
gone.
would you delete it?
You think that's my department? That's not my
It's
department.
your show.
You think I'm handling the audio too?
Y'all dig up that same little junkyard blues to play in for the past 3 years.
That's Rob's. Some things are my department.
I've been begging
Some
you
things
to
are
get me
Rob's
theme
department.
music.
Your open being out of here is Rob's department. That's not my department.
So as the day after I left, and it was my last appearance on the drive, Rob immediately wasted no time and just said, "Oh, we can get rid of this. Never going to use this again."
You don't delete her number after she says, "I don't want to talk." Okay, if you don't want to talk anymore, you're out of here then. Why are you still in my phone?
Just mute. You never know when you might need it again.
That's not what we do on this show. You're either with us or you're not with us. You weren't with us for a while, so we had to leave you.
Six months.
That's a long time. You know what? We found somebody new during that time frame. Radio moves on. Rob, what's our saying on this show? 2:00 don't come late. 2:00 got to happen whether or not you're here.
It's been different. It's the same but different. You can admit it.
Right now we're joined in studio by Aaron Ladd. What do you think Bill Self's going to do?
That's a great question. I think it's probably time, but he, like Travis Kelce, does not want to go out on a bad note. He wants to be able to control the way that he goes out. He knows that there have been higher highs than what's potentially going to be on the other side of these next couple of years. I also think, and deservedly so, this is his decision. I think, and it stinks. It's the nasty part of the business. And now that I'm working with students now, Dot, I'm trying to be more ethical in how we move and distribute information and talk about these things. This is not Adam Schefter or Pete Thamel, or it's not their news to break. And I understand behind the scenes, sometimes there's a little bit of like, hey, just wait a little bit. You'll get the information when it's time. I would hate, even as an op myself, a self-proclaimed Bill Self op, I would hate for that to be the way that players find out, people on the staff find out, recruits find. Like there has to be ethics, and there's got to be a certain way to do this. My gut feeling is it's probably time, but he hangs on for maybe another year or two, because at the end of the day, I mean, this is still one of the best jobs in college basketball. It's still probably high pressure and more pressure than his heart should handle at this point in time, but it's still a very good job.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it where the transfer portal opens up on April 7th. I think if you're Kansas, you need an answer by March 31st. Like, if you're going to conduct a search outside of the building. Now, if the plan is just to promote Jacques Vaughn, then he can make that announcement on the 6th. You got your coach on the 7th. You've already been working behind the scenes to figure out what's going to happen with Flory, what's going to happen with Bryce Tiller. I don't know if it's a good or a bad hire. I just think that's what we've seen these programs do. I mean, that's what Duke did. Duke hired their top assistant. That's what Carolina did. They hired their top assistant. That's what Villanova did when their job was open. So
Carolina didn't hire a top assistant.
Huber was an assistant.
But we saw Jacques Vaughn at the NBA level.
Yeah, to me, not being able to coach the Orlando Magic, or I mean,
I
would say you then had three of the most. You had the three flakiest personalities in the league all on the team at the exact same time. Like right now, you ain't got to like the NBA. Hey, who are some guys who are just a little iffy? Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. Can you imagine having all of them on the same team? Yeah, so I'm not shocked that team didn't reach its full potential.
I think the next part of this is, like, what is the succession plan? If it's Jacques Vaughn and that's the guy, then do it now. I mean, what are you really waiting on? I don't. Rob is more tapped in. Y'all are more tapped in. I'm on the other side of the state now. We're covering black and gold, but what more does Bill Self have to prove? Would be my question.
What's been the mood walking around Columbia this past week?
You know. I mean, Mizzou's lost 8 of their last 9 conference games.
So just expected. Like, this is what we expect.
I think we also knew what this team was also.
For them to lay an egg in St. Louis was embarrassing.
They didn't win a game in the month of March, C-Dot. They went 0-4.
I mean, they've only won 1 the last 3 years with Dennis Gates as their head coach.
And I think the craziest thing is, for some of these fringe teams, we're talking about 8, 9, 10 seeds as far as, like, Power 5 conferences. They think that when March comes and they get the tournament bid, it's an 0-0 mindset. You hear that all the time. It's like, no, you were on a 3-game losing streak coming into this. You struggled to hit any 3-point shots. Your guard play has been abysmal since conference play started. No, your flaws are actually going to be highlighted under this spotlight. I was talking with some beat writer friends about this before the game in St. Louis, to your St. Louis point. I think that could have played on the opposite side of it. You know, it's a double-edged sword there, where it's like, Well, now the pressure is completely on you because you are playing a quote-unquote home game. The bosses are in town. Everybody's locked in. You've essentially got your base excited for this matchup after sliding into the tournament. I think it played to Mizzou's advantage from the crowd perspective, but the game script was completely backwards. I mean, being in there and being in the building, the crowd was begging for a chance to make an impact and explode and like feel like they were in it.
Basically like cheering for Missouri.
And it never came.
I'll get you out of here with this last question. Have you seen this 999 challenge that is going around the interwebs? If you complete this at Kauffman Stadium, does it count?
You're late to this, by the way.
I mean, I know what I don't know if you've seen like the Royals, they have their own team, Major League Baseball branded.
It's like once things go corporate.
Do you think this counts?
Once things go corporate, it's not the same. The beer is like kind of tiny.
Like a tiny beer.
Yeah. The problem for me would be the glizzies. I mean, I can usually hammer 3 at once, but once I get to 4 and 5, that's too much for me.
Okay.
That's too much meat.
That makes perfect sense. I do want to react to this on the other side of Lad being here. Tiger Woods, you guys know the report was that he was in a car accident. This is from the Associated Press. Tiger Woods showed signs of impairment and was arrested at the crash scene on suspicion of DUI, the sheriff says. They also added that alcohol was not a factor. We'll react to this more coming up on the other side. But we had Aaron Ladd join us in studio to celebrate the beginning of opening day.
Brother, that cannot be it.
That's it.
You had me drive all the way from Columbia. You didn't play my open, and now you're booting me out early?
You know what? When it's done, it's done.
Yo, that's crazy.
When it's done,
That's
it's
crazy.
done.
I'm going on a different. Cody and Gold, hit me up.
Yeah, you know what it is. Like, oh, you want to hang out? Actually, I got to work in the morning. I don't know.
It's Friday afternoon.
I know we got things to talk about. It's opening day. Tiger Woods is in another serious car accident. You want more mindless nonsense with you and sticky magazines? No, not on this show. Someone has to keep order. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That doesn't matter if it's the money line, the point spread. Maybe you want to play a futures on who you think is going to make the playoffs in the fall. You can do all of that with our friends over at FanDuel. You can even mix things up with the same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. All you need to do, visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day. So it doesn't matter if it's for the brackets or baseball season. You want to be with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days on the street. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Look at the weather outside. Baseball is in the air. Spring is in the air, and that means tailgate season. Well, with the home opener right around the corner, you are right around the corner from Gates Barbecue. They got 5 locations around town. That one over there on 40 Highway, I think, is actually the best location in the city. But you can always stop by any one of the area 5 locations. Stop by at lunch, get yourself the nooner, get yourself a beef on bun. You can stop in for dinner. You can also get yourself the mixed plate. I like to just get myself a slab of ribs and a fries to go. Heavy on the sauce, please. I know we got Easter coming up, so we got holiday season right around the corner. Maybe you're planning on having a family gathering for Easter. You can get yourself a small party tray, get yourself a large party tray, get yourself a presidential platter. The next time you're at the grocery store, be sure you pick up on some of the sauces and seasoning for your tailgate, for your home cooking, and around the house. Whatever your food needs are, either stop by the website, GatesBBQ.com, or any one of the 5 area Gates locations. The Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you the next time you're in the mood for barbecue, go get some of the best barbecue in the world with our friends over at Gates.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Brought to you by Kalshi. Trade on anything.
March matchups are here. Trade the tournament in all 50 states on Kalshi. St. John's is trading at 29% to beat Duke. A $100 trade pays out $328 if they win. Download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 off when you trade. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, crash now, Lee 7. It's going to be 50 westbound just past Todd George Road. Left lane is blocked. We've also got the crash still working on 35. If you're headed down towards Olathe, going to be a little bit of a slow go. 35 southbound at 119th. Left lane is blocked. New crash now. 35 northbound just before Santa Fe. Left lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Jack Caglione from the Kansas City Royals. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
All right, coming up in a bit, I want to play it for you if you missed it. I'm going to play for you guys Rex Hudler, who was on the show earlier today. No better person to get you ready for the baseball season than Rex Hudler. We have to talk about the top story right now in sports. Tiger Woods was involved in a rollover crash in Florida. We got that information earlier today. We now have additional information per the Martin County Sheriff. Tiger Woods was arrested and charged with DUI, property damage, and refusal to submit. That is per the county sheriff down in Florida. Now, it is important to note in this that Tiger Woods did not get an alcohol DUI. Now, this is obviously speculation on my part. But now that this is the second incident with Tiger Woods, and we also have video evidence of him getting out of the car, dash cam video, and I think Tiger Woods has a painkiller problem. I think he's a painkiller problem. The timing to me just lines up this way. And I'm not here to speak out of turn or speculate about Tiger, but I think we can kind of put 2 and 2 together with him. Tiger played in that golf simulator thing earlier in the week. It's the first time he's played golf in a while. Tiger's body is broken down. Tiger took a couple of painkillers, tried to drive as he has done before, and got into another car accident. That's what I think happened here with Tiger Woods. If you're telling me he got another DUI and alcohol was not involved, and he's already had a very similar incident, I think we know enough about Tiger's personal life to come to this conclusion. This is not the first time we've been here with Tiger Woods. What I don't understand about this is, I'm not here to pass judgment. We all have failed. We all have made mistakes. This is what I don't understand. If you're Tiger Woods, you're worth $1 billion. Tiger has an infinite money glitch when you think about it. Tiger Woods could teach golf lessons for the rest of his life. Tiger Woods could work at ESPN for the rest of his life. Tiger Woods could just fly out to Vegas and sign autographs for the rest of his life. Like, Tiger's success in the first half of his life has unlocked an infinite money glitch where you never really have to work again anymore. Why doesn't Tiger Woods have a driver? That someone, your only job in life, your responsibility in life is to make sure that Tiger gets from point A to point B safely. How is Tiger still driving cars at this point? I don't know what the wake-up point needs to be. I mean, Tiger, the last time you got in one of these accidents, man, you almost died. Like, legitimately, you almost died behind the wheel of a car. Now you're in another rollover car accident? I wouldn't keep playing with fate this way. Keep thinking you're going to keep walking up from these car accidents, man. This is the third serious car accident that we have discussed in Tiger Woods' life. One, I think, was caused by, I think he was asleep. I think his wife went through his phone. I think he was trying to get away because she was mad. He probably knew he shouldn't have been driving, thought he was okay, and that's how we found out about his infidelity with his wife. He then got into another very serious car accident. He just got in one today. I don't know why Tiger Woods is still driving cars. Tiger, buddy, I'll do it. I'll quit this job today if you need me to, Tiger, to come be your personal driver. Where you need to go? You can't keep doing this. You got kids. Your son just committed to go to Florida State. Come on, Tiger. You're too old for this, man. It's way too old for this. Again, I'm not here to pass too much judgment. We all got skeletons in our closet. We all make mistakes, but Tiger, come on now. Tiger Woods arrested, charged with a DUI, property damage, and refusal to submit. We found that out today. He was in a rollover car crash. It seems like there were no injuries reported. Everybody was able to get up and walk away from the car crash. We know that is not always the case when discussing these kind of incidents. I want to play this for you because there is no better person to celebrate opening day with than our dear friend Rex Hudler. We asked him if he started to feel the buzz around town about the boys in blue.
You got that right, C-Dot, and it's for every good reason, too. The homegrown talent that J.J. Piccolo and the organization has put together is amazing. Number one, teams pride themselves whenever they have one, maybe two guys that are homegrown. We got a whole handful of guys. I mean, 5 or 6, which is really important. And you got to add a veteran from outside or here within or a free agent here or there. But, C-Dot, this is my 15th season, and they've all been great because I love baseball. No matter when you win or lose, of course, it's always better when you win. But this is the first off season that I've been here that we've never hunted starting pitching in the off season. Okay? It's always been, well, we need a starter, we need 2, we'd like to get 3. This year, we had a surplus of starting pitching, so that's a positive right away because starting pitching is the main currency in the grand game. Okay, you got to have that. Your team will only go as far as your starting pitching will let them, and that's what we have. Okay, then the WBC came, and I'm always a little guarded every 4 years whenever that happens, just like a GM would be. Even though I don't have any prominence of a GM or nothing, I'm just a fan like everybody else. But I'm concerned with our guys, somebody getting hurt, possibility of that. But none of us knew the impact the WBC was going to have on Kansas City and our Royals players. Forget about the teams they played for and the countries they played for, even though that was impressive. It was the success that our players gained, and Kansas City as a city as a whole were the leading watchers of that. There's power by that, and there's momentum, and there's energy with that, C-Dot. And with that coming into the season, now it's over. But that's momentum. These guys are already stars in the world. People are already got their eyes on Kansas City. That's why.
Do you see the similarities that exist between the Royals in that time frame of 2013, early 2014 to where they are now?
Absolutely. Good statement there, C-Dot. 12, they lost 94, I believe. 13, they were 10 over. And certainly in 12, the reason I moved my family out here after my first year was because I saw what they had, those young players. I got home and told Jennifer, honey, they're going to win. I think God's calling all of us there, not just me during the summers to broadcast games. We need to all be there when they win. And you could feel it then, and you can feel it now. So, yes, I mean, it's not going to be easy, and it never is. But, C-Dot, the key to 26 for the Royals is going to be getting through the month of April. The start. The start is going to be more important than any other season this year, because not only last year they had a hard time driving runs in. They couldn't pick up any runners from second base with less than 2 outs, or they couldn't get the big hits, and that hurt them late. But now they're playing some really solid teams in April. I mean, like almost every team was a winner last year, and some of them were in postseason. I don't have the exact detail, but it's Milwaukee and then Cleveland. They're always tough, those guys. So this is going to be the importance of the Royals season this year if they can get out to the good start. And speaking about tonight, that Chris Sale, he's a beast. He won't be easy.
You've been watching the World Baseball Classic. You've been down there in Surprise. What do you think Jack looks like heading into the season? And you're a former Major League Baseball player. What's the adjustment that you take from your first year and the mentality that you take heading into your second year?
Well, C-Dot, it was tough for Jack last year. Such a big phenom to be able to jump right to the major leagues without any minor league time, hardly at all. There was a lot of pressure on him, and I remember that. I couldn't hit my way out of a paper sack when I first got to the big leagues. It was not just getting used to the pitching, which is top shelf. It was the nerves. It was playing in front of 30,000 people. Those are all things that you're not used to, even though the minor league ballparks nowadays are beautiful and new and they get the bigger crowds. But that was the toughest thing when you first get there. And I remember, of course, I faced Mike Boddicker. I was a Yankee, so the Orioles, we played them a lot. Mike Boddicker's a freak. You kidding? He had a curveball that fell out of the sky. I remember seeing him release that ball, and I looked over my head, and I took it because I'm saying, man, well, what the heck is that? And it was a strike right at the knees. So now what am I going to do next? Well, he throws it again, and I'm going to swing at it. But he's smart because he drops it after the throwing it for strike one. He's going to drop it in front of home plate as a ball. I swing at it, and the next pitch, why wouldn't he do it again? I swung at it again. It was so embarrassing. He toyed with me, and Jack saw some of that last year, and he was aggressive. He wanted to hit. So what's the transition will be for him this year? He's like, yeah, it's my turn now. I'm better than that. I'm going to show some plate discipline, which he showed in spring training. He was one of the guys on that Italian team. So when you become a guy like that, with the help of the WBC, it's going to further mature Jack's progress. Jack is going to be a more mature hitter this year. He's still going to swing and miss at some because you're only human at the highest level, but he's going to be more selective. He's already showed it. He's going to gain some confidence. An early start for him, a good, successful start, is going to help in the confidence department, C-Dot, but he's going to have a little more of a chip on his shoulder now and saying, look, it's my turn now, and I'm not going to go easy. So I think he's going to be a much better hitter. And, of course, I loved watching him play defense last year, whether it was in right or at first base, especially in right field. When he would catch a ball, C-Dot, watching him throw 90-plus back into the infield, that was so cool. This is really a star player that's going to be a big part of that championship the next time the Royals win it, whenever that is coming soon.
Right now, we're talking to Rex Hudler, getting his thoughts as we are getting ready for opening day. So the outfield today, Hud, is going to be Lane Thomas in center, Sterling Marte over at right field, and Isaac Hollins at left field, hitting third, sixth, and eighth, respectfully. There's a lot of new faces on this team, especially in the outfield. What do you make of the new faces?
I like them. Compared to last year's faces, there's a big difference. It's some proven guys, which is nice. Even though Isaac is not exactly proven, but he had one heck of a year last year. When you put a year in like that in your first year as a rookie, you're coming in and you got some skills. You got a little swagger. That's important. Swagger is important for a big leaguer because that's the ego. That's that mechanism that stirs the player when he competes against the world's greatest. My first 2 years, I didn't have it. I was scared. I was a wimp. I was just kind of tiptoeing in there. But once I got tired of getting bit by the dog, that's when you step up and you go, no, it's my turn now, and I'm coming to play. And in our day, C-Dot, it was much easier. I could go after a second baseman, or I could get Ozzie Smith or Ryan Sandberg, or I could tea kettle a catcher. I could use my physicality from being a football player. But it's different nowadays. You have to really show your skills with the bat and with your defense. So I'm going to say, C-Dot, that outfield is talented. Sterling Marte was a great pickup. Even at 37 years old, I saw him in the spring. He's chiseled. Looks like he's got about waist. He's got shoulders. He's got strong. He can still run. He can cover some ground and play some outfield. That's a really nice acquisition. They had their eyes on him, and they wanted the kid Duran in Boston. But he was a tough get. He was a tough find. But they were able to complement it. I think the kid Isaac's going to be a very sufficient guy who can get on base. He doesn't swing in any balls. He's a guy who puts the ball in play, a Royals-type player. And, of course, the center fielder, he's a veteran. I watched him play in Cleveland last year. I was impressed with him. Hit some big home runs and timely home runs. So the Royals are definitely better off in that outfield than they were last year. And we all know that was a big difference.
I'm not here to put the pressure on one individual, but I feel like Cole Reagans will likely tell the story for the 2026 Royals. He was an all-star in 2024. They made the playoffs in 2025. He dealt with injuries. He took a step back, and they finished a couple of games outside of the playoff picture. I think if the Royals can get that version of Cole Reagans back from 2026 or 2024, and if they can get that version this year and you add that with the bats that they've added and the offense and the foundation, I think it's going to be really, really tough to beat this Royals team this year.
You better believe it, C-Dot. I'm glad you see the things that a lot of us see. And, like I said, you can't pull the wool over Royals fans. They've been seeing it all. They've seen the rough seasons, the terrible seasons, and then they've seen some great seasons. And it's really about that time where the tide turns back to greatness again, and it starts with a couple of winning seasons before this year, okay? That the 2 winning seasons is like you were mentioning, the way it was in 12 and 13. You could see the prospects. You could see it. But now this is a more mature team, and with Salvador Perez, the captain of this team, still being Salvi, which is amazing after all these years, to see him be the leader and the other guys follow. The junior's a superstar. We got a superstar at third base. And, C-Dot, we really haven't talked about the defense and how wonderful this defense is. I watched Pasquantino go from a guy who was not a very good fielder to a Gold Glove candidate. He's worked his way. Jose Alguacil, another brilliant hire, the infielder instructor for the Royals that Quatraro hired, is brilliant. I watch these guys every single day go out there before games and work. They don't take infield like they used to in our day. They go out and they get their work done early, and they get their hitting done early, and then they go and they shower. That way they don't have to heat up and warm up and do it again and again. So, but they're working on drills, working on short hop picks, throws from the first baseman. Pasquantino's made himself a brilliant first baseman, and we all saw it in the WBC. Do you see the stretches that he made, this flexibility? I mean, the picks he made over there, that you have a good first baseman, man, that makes the rest of them good. And sorry about the left side of our infield, the rest of baseball. But with Garcia and Junior on the left side, going to be tough. You have to hit a ball hard to get it by them, number one. And number two, with our three left-handed pitchers, our starters, remember, guys, you're seeing mostly right-handed bats off of these left-hand starters. So what do right-handed bats do with the left-hander throwing balls and breaking in? They pull them. So you hit them to the left side of the infield where we got nothing but gold. Guess what? There's a lot of outs. And that left side of the infield with our three left-handed starters this year, bam. And you know what? The rest of the guy, Isbell's pretty good top-shelf center fielder. You need that. It's exciting, C-Dot. When you put it together, pitching, defense, timely hits, that's the magic. It's been for the grand game for the last 200 years, however many years it's been going. And the Royals have it, especially the pitching. And we haven't even mentioned the pin to win.
Last thing here, Hud, and we appreciate your time. You have seen opening day from a player perspective. You've seen it from a broadcaster perspective. One of the things about baseball is it's constant. It's every day. Opening day is a little bit different. What is it like to be in the middle of a day that is so special with the game?
It's the most nerve-wracking a player will have the whole season outside of day one and postseason. I can't. The feeling is beautiful. It's your butterflies are let out of the cage. They are flying everywhere. You feel butterflies in your stomach, your throat. You see butterflies, and you just can't wait to get going, to get to the ballpark. That's why, as a broadcaster, all these years, I never go around there and go inside the clubhouse on opening day because there's too much. It's hard to contain. You wait 6 months and you get there, and of course you practice for 6 weeks in spring training games that are meaningless outside of getting in shape. The numbers don't mean anything. Now it's time to go, and you're tight. Everyone's tight. I don't care if you're a 10, 15-year veteran. Salvador Perez will tell you, I'm tight. I'm a little nervous today, and that's just the way it is. That's how special opening day can be.
That is Rex Hudler, Royals television broadcaster, joining us on the show. You can catch him later today, Royals and Braves, to open up the season. Hud, you know how much love and appreciation I have for you, how valuable you have been to the show. Excited to have you on for another exciting baseball season.
C-Dot, thanks a million, man. Love you and your work and what you guys do for the area of Kansas City, sharing the game with others, and, also staying positive, C-Dot. But the main thing is being honest and being real. And that's what I love about you. That's the way we do our games, too. We're on top of it. The fans are great, and we're looking for a championship season. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
This baseball season, FanDuel is letting you choose your own reward for opening week. Betting customizations that transform how you experience the game. Make your choice, and the reward will be ready for you on your next MLB bet. FanDuel's the home of home runs. Now that you can choose your reward for opening week, baseball just got more exciting. For myself, personally, I'm looking at opening day. Cole Reagans is healthy, so I love a nice strikeout bet with Cole. And looking at the Royals' home opener, fences are in, the Twins have no pitching, and Jack Caglione has a chance to grab the city. Give me an anytime home run for him on that day. So, ready to play your game? Head to FanDuel.com/local to choose your reward for MLB's opening week. FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB, and FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tonight, expect a low of 32 with mostly clear skies.
Weather brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $59.99 guaranteed. That's right. Don't just cut back. Stop smoking once and for all. Also, lose all the weight you want. Only $59.99 guaranteed with Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Let hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating, and lose the weight. Weight loss hypnosis, Wednesday, April 1st at the Wingate by Wyndham, Kansas City. Formerly Sure Stay Plus by Best Western in Kansas City, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking hypnosis, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
The NFL offseason is here, but the action never stops. The draft is right around the corner, and Heed the Call NFL podcast with Dan Hanzus and Mark Sessler is your pro football destination. Prospects, team needs, and pick-by-pick coverage of draft weekend.
Heed the Call covers all things NFL, and we have fun. No fake hot takes or boring data dumps here, just entertaining football talk from your favorite buds at the bar.
So come hang out with the Heed the Call heroes for football news, analysis, and mirth. All the mirth. Follow and listen to the Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcast.
When the cold sets in across KC, AB May is the trusted name for keeping your home warm, safe, and secure. From furnace repairs to system replacements, we deliver reliable solutions and unmatched care and professionalism.